I'm gonna kill you, you bastard!
Here's the juk. All you see is crooks. Shout out to Havoc, good looking on the beat. Forever P. Street life was good. About to go in, son. Look, red bones and red bottoms. Like Red Bull, we gon' give them wings, we red dot them. Candy rappers, send them in, we red hot them. Headshot them, go against migraine, get head problems. Big dummy, garbage rappers, we red fox them. Shoot an actor in high depth and red box them. Tip the scales in my favor, stay in your top 10. If life's like a triple beam, I'm weighing my options. Y'all like wild meth, you high meth. Keep a big popper, cause I ain't ready to die yet. I digress, or I'm just too intense to digest. Stretched in a Pyrex, compliments to my chef. Game ain't been the same since I left. Is they really crooks or just a pain in my neck? Wu-Tang, ain't no lanes in my set. Fresh pair of Nike Airs, I just do it for my check. I'll be the first to tell these rappers, get your bars up. Shout to P, you know it's havoc when we mob up. I tell that smut, date over, pull your drawers up. Cigar guts, all up in the club, putting squad up. Throw your squad up. Throw your squad up. Throw your squad up. Cigar guts, all up in the club, putting squad up.
I swoop in, shooting like I'm paratrooping. We all in, we riding, we carpooling. My whole crew, we diving, we platooning. Salute me or shoot me, Huey P. Newton. Your buffoonery is quite amusing. This is not monkey business, stop cooning. It's a method to my madness, I know what I'm doing. There's a
Shalom. Welcome back.
All right. I like to say Edatol and Shabbat Shalom to all the Hebrews that are currently residing in Dimona, Israel. And I also like to say Edatol and Shabbat Shalom to all the scattered Israelites throughout the nations. My name is Alan C., and I have next to me my two brothers and comrades, Eli and Tru Timithy. We are the guardians of the Torah, Yahweh only, DOA podcast, and we are now coming to you live on day 7 in stereo.
All right. I see Brother Yasin in the house. How you doing, Brother Yasin? Been a while.
All right. Yes, sir.
Brother Ben, your signal, you lost signal. You're back now.
Yep. It's really bad. We got it's very windy here today. Yeah, shalom, everyone.
All right.
Well, you see the title. The title says Habitual Hebrews. Originally, I was going to do this last week, but things came up. Shalom, Brother Ricard. He's in the gallery.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, last week, we missed the show, and we was going to talk about the bad habits, good habits that the Hebrews have, coming along from ancient days times to present days time. And then we was going to talk a little bit about King Saul. He was the first king that, the house literally, they wanted a king. So guess who they got? They got a king, And we'll talk about the last days of time frames of Samuel, But meanwhile, we're going to talk about some of the focuses and the distractions of the world and how we could go around them and avoid the pitfalls, the things that keep us, out of whack.
All right.
I mean, Brother Ben, I know you had a great point what you were saying and everything earlier, but we can't use the the namesakes of, we just have to use riddles and rattles. But let me explain something to you. I'm more aware of what's going on as far as dealing with this world system, probably most than anybody. And I don't ignore the world system. I just avoid it. I stay away from it because it's a distraction. I don't know about how the elections and things go on where you're from, but around here they make a big deal out of it. We got this thing going on with the Trumpster, and then you got the She World, Miss Harris going on. But to be honest with you, I care less about either one of those parties, because at the end of the day, they ain't gonna do shit for me nor my family. The only person that's gonna do that would be me. You know what I mean? So I would say True for president if I was gonna be out there worrying about anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't
I'd
know
vote
about
for you.
nah, nah, nah. I wouldn't even want you to vote for me. I want you to vote for you. Vote for yourself. Okay? Keep your focus on yourself and your family, and first and first, most the Most High.
Right.
Because if you depend
Well,
on
that's
any of
that's
these people do things for you, and guess what? And they don't come through, you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall in the biggest pitfall that you could ever, you can ever be in. You don't want to be in that situation.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
well, we're not to vote anyway. So
absolutely. We're not to put, especially
yeah, we got to
these characters
got to
that
try.
they got that's going on. They have no balance to what's going on with us anyway.
Now, now, if Israelite get up there running, then we got to vote for kind of
Hmm.
I'm gonna be honest. Politics in general, and this is something that Malcolm X said more than 50 years ago, before there was a Democrat or Republican, a Elk or a Mason, there was a black man.
Hmm.
As far as we're going to be here to the beginning, we've been here since the beginning, and we'll be here to the end. The thing with
Absolutely.
politics is um, every year they have somebody make all these promises, and they make these promises, and 9 times out of 10, they never fulfill the promises. Um, Both candidates that are running this year, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, neither one of them have fulfilled any of their promises that they spoke about. I mean, she's been running as a vice president. She hasn't fulfilled what she said she was going to do. And when Trump back in 2020 ran, he did not fulfill what he said he was going to do. Now, fast forward to 2024, both of these people are still in the seat to run for president. What are they
Mm.
going to do? They're going to do
Nothing.
nothing for the Hebrew. They're not
Nothing.
going to do nothing for us. So this is why I say when people tell me the less of two evils, which two evils? They're both evil.
Yeah.
Ouch. Ouch.
So I mean,
They are.
yeah, they are. They can't help my current situation, and
And
to
they
me,
ain't gonna. They
right.
ain't gonna.
So I mean, what can they do for the Hebrews? And see, this is how politics work. They would not listen to us unless we had like some type of group and we donate to their cause. If we said, listen, we're the Hebrew group of America, we want to donate 100 grand to your cause. What can you do for the Israelites? Then they would listen to us. But a lot of people don't know that. You hear these super PACs and everything get together, and that's how politics work. It's basically about paying someone off. Because if you look up the word politics, it says the activities associated with the governance of a country or other areas, especially the debate or conflict among individuals or parties having or hoping to achieve power. What kind of power? You know what I'm saying? What kind of power? Taking over different countries. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, for me, it's either or with them, and that's just my
Mhm.
say on this particular subject regarding politics.
Yeah. To me, it's the same thing. It just reminds me of like always we're looking for some dependency of somebody to be the hero for us.
Right.
It's going to do something that other than what we should be able to do for ourselves. We need to depend on Joker to do it. You get what I'm saying? Or now
Right.
in the case of Kamala Harris, the she Harris is going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Why do we need that? Because they're not going to do shit. You know what I'm saying? Neither one of them have the ability to actually literally save the world. So let's don't bullshit. All right. And it's
Right.
funny that all we know, presently is just those two. The focus is always on either her or him. Any other candidates, you never hear them. You hear about them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I mean, like it's like, what's the point?
Can I just say as one thing as well, just to add to that what you just said? Yeah, I just like what I say is that the lesser of two evils, right? So basically, they gave you evil and evil, but that's no choice. So much for democracy, right? Evil and evil. That's their system.
Yeah. Basically how it is. I mean, like I said, politics is a very dirty business. No one really wins, and the thing that you're dealing with, both parties, they work with each other. So it's not like you're with
Exactly.
just with
Exactly.
party, because
Hmm.
you got people who are fighting who are Democrats and people who are fighting who are Republicans. But at the end of the day, the candidates flip flop. A lot of people don't realize that Trump many years ago was a friend of the Clintons and he was a Democrat. So now he's running as a Republican.
Hmm.
So I mean, this shows you that they flip flop back and forth. There's no relevance or any type of stability among these politicians. Anyway, like I said, each year they they come down and give us a story. They're going to do this. They're going to put a bill out to help college students. They're gonna lower taxes. Let me tell you something, and I really get tired of people telling me, "Oh, you should vote because our forefathers fought for this." If our ancestors were here now and see the disaster of how the polls are and how politics are, they probably wouldn't vote.
Exactly.
They wouldn't vote at
Exactly.
all. So,
Exactly. Like brother I am Yasin says, he says, Deuteronomy 17, verse 15, is we're not to vote. And it's really not really saying vote in the scriptures. It's saying put these bastards
right,
above us,
right,
over us, running our stuff, running our lives, basically handling our own businesses. You get what I'm
right.
saying? This is one thing I always want to say, that why come out of all the different things that's going on, why we don't have our own shit? Why do we keep running back and forth to other nations' stuff and other people's shit? Why don't we have our own? And that's with anything. I mean, we should put a label on something that says ours. We can't, because we always run into them, depending on them, putting them over us.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and a lot of people are not gonna.
It's just
They're
a
not gonna.
syndrome.
They're not gonna take this seriously. But we actually did better when we were segregated from them because we had our own businesses.
Hmm.
Yeah.
We had our own
Black
business.
Black Wall Street.
Yeah, and we did fine until we bought into. Not to disrespect the man, we bought into what Martin Luther King was saying, but what a lot of people don't realize at the end of his journey before he left here, he had
Hmm.
changed his mind. He was starting to become more of a radical because he started talking to. Now, I'm not saying by any means he was going to become a Muslim, but he was talking to
That's they all.
Elijah Muhammad, and he was changing his views as far as you know trying to segregate with different races. Which I'm not going to sit here and label myself as a chauvinist, but when it comes to different things, sometimes we don't know what's best for our own people. Every nation, when it's time to get together and to put themselves in a certain standpoint as far as trying to have something, they get together. We are the only set of people, if you want to use the social construct term black, we're the only black people that cannot get together as a unit and have anything.
Hmm.
We got enough millionaires, billionaires, athletes, musicians, sports entertainers, where we can have our own island if we chose to. But
Yep.
because everybody has a mentality of, oh, I got mine, you got to get yours, we will never accomplish anything as a people. I think the civil rights movement and the unity of black
Yeah.
people stopped back in the 70s. After that, that was it.
Hmm.
And that's just my take on it.
Mm-hmm. It's
Can,
all.
can
It's
I just add
all.
something to that, please?
Mm-hmm.
Can I just add something? Yeah, right. So pretty much, right. You brothers would remember the Black Wall Street, yeah, where every time black people in America or around the world as well, have tried to do something for themselves, it was destroyed by who?
Right.
The other nations, right? You had the
Right.
KKK. They came into Black Wall Street in America. They burned the place down. It was thriving. Black businesses, black ownership, black land, black property, right? They destroyed that. The KKK came in, they destroyed it, right? The
Right.
same thing with, and I'll say that the same thing with Africa. Anytime Africa wants to try and do something for itself, not only for decades, not to be racist or anything, but this is just straight 100% fact. What's been going on here? They have
Right.
systematically raped, pillaged, separated, black people from each other, so that we do not work together. We can't unite with anything, right? They have literally had civil wars. They've orchestrated civil wars, coups in Africa, right? For nations and people like, for instance, Gad, the Daffy guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Him, right? Him as
Yeah,
well. He wanted to
Gaddafi.
unite Africa with a gold-backed currency, a gold-backed dinar. What did they do to him? All of a sudden, oh, he's a bad guy, and that Hillary, person, right, was laughing when he died. We conquered, or we saw, he died. They deliberately destabilize anything black people are doing. There's been over 9. Just let me just summarize this. 9 coup attempts. The famous Captain Abraham Traore, right? He is one of the most successful. All of this modern stuff from all these other countries, some help, all because he wants to do something for his people, keeping the gold in his land, right? But the French are trying to take all of that back. So anytime black people want to do something, they're stopped. Anytime they say, "Oh, you can't do that," but you know what they're afraid of? That we'll succeed, and we'll do
Question.
it better than them.
I got a question though. I got a question. Even though you answering it
Yeah,
partially, that the question I would ask you, because the bottom line, obviously, there is a lot of truth in what you're saying as far as them doing this and that, holding us back, taking our stuff away, putting limits on what we could do, and et cetera, et cetera. But the biggest answer I want to get from you and anyone, not just you, what should we do? Should we just let them do it, or what we need to do to change the situation? Because the main goal of the situation is, every time we try to get ahead, you say they come and they tear our shit down. So what should we do? What would you suggest that we
Well,
do?
hello.
Yeah, we hear you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, well, from my understanding, the only thing we're supposed to do is get us a house, kind of plant us some fruit or whatever food, have kids, and pray for peace, and wait for David, David the Christ. But other than that, I know if we try to get together, like Brother was saying, they're gonna come against whatever we try to do and call it whatever, you know. So,
Mm-hmm.
it already said we're gonna be without a priest and without sacrifices and everything. So I think we could do is seek the Most High and look for David, And
Mm-hmm.
that's it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's a good answer, and to me, that answer is straight truth. Because guess what? Even I understand that we're not in the power to do such and such, and they can control such and such. We are in situations where we're not able to defend ourselves, which I gotta say I'm half truth with that, because I'm gonna defend myself. I don't know about the rest of you. I'm gonna defend myself. I'll go down with the ship if I have to. So I'm not exactly what you call controlled by them to that point where I ain't gonna defend myself. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
what I was saying is from Brother Ben's point of view, I want to hear his suggestion. What should he do in all of this? And you know, go around the table. Even brother
Are you talking
brother
about me,
Ricard.
or
No,
you're saying you're
I'm
saying to
going.
everyone? You're
As,
saying to
as
everyone, to
every,
me.
I'm going with everyone, but I'm starting off with you because you brought it up, literally. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, I mean, if you want sound advice, right? I'm going to give you some sound advice here, right?
Mm-hmm.
These days, morality is pretty short in supply.
Mm-hmm.
If you can find people of like mind, as in people of like faith, honorable, the most high fearing people, and you can get together, because I mean there are small groups around, right? But if you can get together with God praying, and so when I say God, the most high fearing people who actually have morals, and people you can't trust who'd probably stab you in the back, right? Get together with people of like mind, and you could build something. You could build a new Black Wall Street. You can build a little small civilization within a civilization. It's been done before, but you need enough people who can trust each other with God-fearing principles and background and a proven history to succeed, because nowadays trust is in short supply. That's my honest to the most high, right? God advice. If you wanted to do something, as in people out there, you find people like you who fear the most high, who fear the retribution of the most high, who are willing to do something and who said, okay, well, I'm done with this system. How can we be done with it, but at the same time be with people like you who will build something? Because what every day I wake up, because I know what I've built to do what I've done. That's my advice.
Mm-hmm. All right, brother Allen, what you would say on that? We're gonna go around. We're gonna go around the round table, and then I'm gonna come back up and I'm gonna say my part on it, and then we'll go back to Ben.
Okay. Well, the first thing is we have to look at how the ancestors did it. And when I mean ancestors, I'm not talking just about going back to the old country. I'm talking about in modern times in this era. How did we let this situation get so far out of hand? I'm going to even go back to the times of Martin Luther King. Anytime we did something, we did it as a unit. And as a unit, when we got together as a people, we succeeded. Now, I'm just going to use one example. This is just something that more like, more likely it worked, but this is just a small example. At one time, if you're old enough, I don't know, we got a lot of young people here on our broadcast. Um, when we got on the bus, even though we paid our fare, we were told that as people of color, we had to sit in the back. So, to eliminate that problem, what did we do? As a unit, we got together because we're the only ones that are riding the bus. Most Europeans at that time had cars.
Mm-hmm.
Every black person went on what I would call a strike. They rode with each other, they walked to work, they got cabs, and they almost put the bus company out of service. So
Mm-hmm.
what did the bus company do? They let them sit where they wanted. The point is this: we as people of color have gotten to the point where we don't trust each other, we don't work with each other. The only way we are going to get ahead as a people or a nation, we have to stop depending on the white man. Now I know this sounds like some 1960 rhetoric, but it's actually true. we have people out here that are college educated. I'm talking about people of color. We have nurses. We need to start our own establishments. We have to stop looking for handouts. We have to get together. We have to have our own factions, not the NAACP, because the NAACP, what people don't know, was created by Europeans and black people were working there. We didn't create the NAACP. White people did. So we need our own factions. We need to get our own people together. We need to train our own people. And if we can do that, because we got enough billionaires, we got enough millionaires. Like I said, we can have our own island, but everybody has to be on board. But see, the problem with our people is no one wants to step out on faith and take a chance, believing in the Most High. People are taught, oh, I believe in the Most High, but they won't take a chance. I'll give you an example. At an old job I had, and I know I'm long-winded, but I'm going to try to make it short. I was working a job about 10, 15 years ago, and the money was just no good there. And everybody said, yeah, we're not making no money. I said, well, my aunt has trained me how to start a union. I said, we can bring a union in here and we can make them give us money, but we have to do it as a team. The three of us can start a union. And then when we get the union papers, we go to everybody. And I said, now, in the process, the three of us may get terminated. But if we start the union, we can reinstate ourselves down the line. You know what these two brothers said to me? Man, I need my job. I needs my job. We ain't making no money anyway. The point I'm trying to make, in order for us to get ahead as a people, we have to unify, we have to work together. Until then, we'll never have nothing. We'll always have a job and we'll always have great jobs and homes, but we'll never have nothing as a people. We'll have to always depend on the government. So that's just my take on that.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say this much. One thing, if you guys that know me real good, I'm not the one that teach discouragement. You know, I'm very forward with it. Maybe strong mouth sometimes when I get down with dealing with certain, these different persuasions and stuff with people. But I do not absolutely teach discouragement. I don't teach discouragement because discouragement is like a disease that once it starts spreading, then you're gonna have the next person and the next person scared to do something, to stand up, to stand for themselves, do something for themselves, do something about it. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So what I don't like, right, is yes, the system is on our back, but guess what? Guess what? Shrug them off, make moves, do something about it. Don't just sit up there and say, "Well, I can't do nothing. They got me holding me back." Because if you keep doing it that way, you're just spreading discouragement. You get what I'm saying? And I agree with what you said about we should have our own. We should not depend on the white man and this and that. But I have to go deeper than that. I don't think the white man is the problem. I think they are what you call those people who focus on what the white man has above and beyond them, and they're always looking for them to, I guess, say they're the ones that's holding them back. But let me tell you something. It's our own shape that we're in is why we're in it. We are holding ourselves back. We're the ones doing it. All right? But in continuation, we'll turn it over to Brother Vicar to see what he has on that same take on that subject.
Hey, shalom, elders. I just want to say I respect each and every one of you all, because y'all are among the greats on everything. But my take on it is, I mean, it can be so many various different things, but I would like to focus on the fact that I think that we should start with the root, like the children, the younger generation, like
Mhm.
focusing on like far as if each man were to take his assets and his time and what I'm saying and dedicate that to the younger generation. Like, I say this all the time, like, hey, this woman, not to call no names or anybody, but this woman, she may have like 5 kids. And everybody knows, what I'm saying, you know, the baby dad is not there. So why would it
Mm-hmm.
hurt? Why would it hurt you to be like, hey, I would take your sons on my wing and teach them, you
Mm-hmm.
know, trade skills, build those, you know, those five boys up. And so once you build those five boys up, those five boys gonna have respect for you in that
Mm-hmm.
neighborhood or whatever you tell them to respect. And so I feel
And
like,
that's mm-hmm.
that's what we need to start. We need to start with the younger generation. And you know, and I'm speaking from that point of view because I remember growing up in Montgomery, Alabama, and I didn't have any actually good role models, you know, to kind of, you know, mimic out of beside my pops, you know. But he was, you know, he was always working and everything, and he did what he could. But far as like, I never had any good role models. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I hang in certain games. There's one time I joined the game, and then hey,
I don't know what happened. You lost your signal.
Brother Vakar. Brother
can
Vakar.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I was saying like I was born and raised in Montgomery, Alabama, and participated in games, you know, and I called myself being in one before, but like I was saying is that we don't.
Sounds like him.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, what I was saying was that you know we don't you know look out for one another anymore. We don't have any role models, you know, in the streets growing up. And it's like if one person would have you know just showed me you know a role model, and hey, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to follow, show me respect, and in turn I would have showed that same respect. And that's how I feel like that's how we should build on that type of respect
Yeah.
versus you know
Yeah.
entertainment in a way.
Yeah. We should be an ensign to our families and sake, of showing them how it is and what we need to do, so that that could pass on to the next generation and the next generation. So I absolutely agree with you with that.
Right, and don't just hey, we know this
Hmm.
woman a harlot or whore, whatever. Don't just
Hmm.
you know shun her because you just shun her, then you're gonna already lose the minds of those 10 boys that she have that
Hmm.
you possibly can make warriors. You possibly can you know affect they change, and then in turn they be like, you know what, we're gonna do things the right way.
Hmm.
That's what I feel like
Key
because that's
word,
what
key
all we
word,
are.
key word. Right way, righteous ways. And where do we learn all of this stuff? In the scriptures, right?
Right.
Brother Yashin said
Hey,
before when we was talking about the vote thing, he gave me Deuteronomy 17 verse 15. But I don't know if he realized it or not. That whole chapter speaks on the same subject we're talking about. That whole chapter, Deuteronomy 17,
Yeah, it
as a
does.
guide, to what we need to do. And like I said to Brother Ben, the most important factor out of all of this is keep your focus on the Most High. Fear Him, and everything else rolls downhill. Shit rolls downhill. Remember that. All right. Brother Yasin, I'm gonna turn it over
yeah,
to you
bro.
and let you have a few words with it. Go ahead.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Slow, fam. Hey, but check this out. Y'all work in mysterious ways, cause now they got it's option now for your kids to be homeschooled and all that. You don't want them to go to school and stuff. So it's really a time for us as adults with grandkids and kids, to start just a little bit in them. So like with me, I done got my grandkids getting up and saying hallelujah in the morning. You know what I'm saying? So I say good morning and stuff. And they say it with pride. So I feel like little stuff like that and in due time over years, then that's about the truth or whatever, and then they'll always remember,
Hmm.
pass it down through that, you know.
Hmm. Well, this is
So
the key.
praise
This is the
God,
key.
though.
This is the key to this subject. Habitual Hebrews, habits that the Hebrews do. And when I'm saying Hebrews, I'm not necessarily saying we should limit it to just only our Hebrews. I'm talking about people of color, literally. Got bad habits. Got bad habits. We need to break them bad habits. We need to
Mm.
lose discouragement, lose it completely. All right. We need to point our focus strictly on the one that created us, number two, and number one at the same time. And keep those two things going so that we could literally, do better for ourselves so the next generation can do better and we can all what you call heal, get better. You know what I mean? As a people, as a unit. All right. Now let's go back to brother Ben. I mean, Black Wall Street, Black Wall Street. The things about Black Wall Street that we read about, is very limited, very little. Whatever happened to rebuilding the Black Wall Street? What would you say, brother Ben?
It wasn't allowed. I mean, after that, pretty much the people moved away. They were discouraged. It all fell apart. It was fear, intimidation, especially in that particular part of town. So pretty much they used fear of reprisal. A bit like I don't know if any of you have seen Mississippi Burning. Have you seen that movie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Any of you seen that? So
Mm-hmm.
they would attack prominent black people's homes. They would burn them. They would intimidate them. At that time, you're talking about the Ku Klux Klan. They were there in numbers. So it was blatant discrimination at that time as well.
Right. But those are the things that would be a part of the discouragement factor. So I'm gonna ask you what you think we should say as far as today building a new Black Wall Street. What would you say?
Your question was rebuilding it now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, building it today, I don't know. I would just suggest this, like I suggested before, is that you get with people, brothers and sisters of like mind, who fear the Most High, because then, the thing is that it doesn't matter what your past is, right? Like Brother Bakar and all the rest of it. It doesn't matter what your past is. If I know you and you to me are an honest, righteous person, that's the traits you're looking for. And that's the kind of conversation you would have with them. That's the kind of conversation I would have with that person, because they.
Right. But
they
what do you think about it?
No, I'm asking you.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
They fear the retribution of the Most High, right? Because if they say if they backstab you, or they rob you or whatever have you, their fear of that pain and suffering coming down the track, because it might not be today or tomorrow. That fear of the Most High, giving them what they deserve and what they did to you, that's what would keep them in line, right? So they know that that's not the thing that we do, because they believe in the laws, statutes, and commandments. They're following that. But as goes for Black Wall Street, where are we going with that?
Yeah. Well, literally, when I mean Black Wall Street, obviously we're not going to rebuild Black Wall Street, literally. But we talk about in a like situation, basically the situation of us getting back to where we need to be, where we should be, without the discouragement, without the factor of them holding us back. What I'm saying on that level, But you pretty much answered the question literally. You're not even knowing it, basically in your own thoughts. You even said the same thing with person like I've been saying all along. Like we've all been saying, right? What we've all been saying. So you got to put your focus back on the finer things in this walk, right? And where do we know the finer things in this walk is? It's in these scriptures, right? And the focus is obviously still on the Most High, right? Mm-hmm. So literally, you basically answered the question. So I want you to remember.
I would rather be with. Yeah, it never changed.
Right.
Never changed.
It's in the book of Malachi. Yahweh, Yohe Wahe, changes not.
Mm-hmm.
Changes not. But man does.
Man changes. Right. I mean, but like with all of the things that you named, like the Ku Klux Klan, the evils that that our ancestors came across, what could we do about that today?
What do you mean, as far as what?
Should we be worrying about I don't know what you call paying them back, or should we just focus on making ourselves greater? Forget about them.
No.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I know there is a section I think in the Torah, and I don't think it's meant to be literal, but some people take it literal. It could be literal, it could be metaphorical, and it's called an eye for an eye. In the
Mm-hmm.
case of revenging our ancestors for the European supremacists, I don't think it's a need to do that for the simple fact you don't know who you're taking out, because that was in that era and this is this era. Me worrying about the Ku Klux Klan now
Right.
doesn't serve a purpose for me as a righteous man. Not saying I would not defend myself if I had to, if it came down to me going against a racist, but trying to take out, do you know how many racist groups there are? You have the
Mm-hmm.
white knights, you have the Ku Klux Klan, the skinheads. You'd be fighting forever. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a need to do that.
You'd be in an eternal war.
Basically,
You would never be able to focus on making yourself better because you'd be
right,
in a war, too war
right,
bound. That's why this type of talk, what I'm saying makes a good point. Literally, that
right.
basically what I'm actually trying to get out for the answer is let it go, man. Let it
Right.
go.
You have to.
Revenge should be something that's modeled. Let the Most High handle that.
Correct.
That's not our job. That's not our
Right, I
task.
agree.
Correct.
Yeah,
Right.
I definitely agree because, like you said, why would you focus on all that? That was in the past, and we were talking about the future, so we're supposed to focus on the future.
Mhm.
Correct.
A lot of mistakes that our people do is join in with like some of these black stand for each other's supremacy groups. And guess what? All they do is spew out threats and idle thoughts and never do shit. All
Go
right.
on that watch list, that terrorist watch list. What they be on?
End up in that terrorist watch list, end up being either,
Mm-hmm.
you know, put in behind bars or censored that you can't even talk
Mm-hmm.
to your guy next door, you know. So what's the point?
Right.
Getting that case
Right.
built up on
hmm
them. Shoot.
But
What's
I
the
think it's like, like bro was saying too, get with some brothers that's like minded, and even if they say like even with us, if you say, hey, we just gonna make it like we gonna put $20 a month up, $20 a week up, put it in some kind of trust fund, we know what to do with it or whatever. And but the main thing too though, like I think we need to make a pamphlet or something to rectify belief and show the difference, that the New Testament, the Pisos, writings, and all that, and show the difference between us and the Torah only and everything, because it's like people want to know the truth, and they just so sucked in by what they know already, and the BS with the IUIC, what else, and the rest of the alphabet,
hmm
you
In
know.
other words, you saying is you want to kind of separate from the pacifiers, those that suck on the pacifier groups that pass
I
out the
think
pacifiers.
I, our issue is more like by us knowing the truth. It's more like shutting them boys down, or you know what I'm saying. This says y'all, like them boys at the House of Israel,
hmm
in Cincinnati. That's why pretty much I call myself a little country, But
hmm
like to only the truth, But for us,
So,
anything we try to do anything, we're gonna be a group and they gonna shut them down. And why
hmm
they ain't really mess with the ICIU board, whatever. Cause them boys CIA ran. So
hmm
yeah,
hmm
them boys ain't nothing but for some kind of like destruction or something. I don't know how to word it, but that's
hmm
where I feel. Yeah,
Can I add
really
something?
sad. Sure, man.
Yeah, can I add something? Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I just wanted to say, like, a good example is like, look, we we are smart people. We're not stupid people. Look at what the Amish do, right? You know, like you might not have the skills to build, say, like a shed or a basic, but the other person might, right? So you may know a carpenter, you may know an electrician, you may know like somebody who's really good at 12 volt, say for instance, right? I mean, all these skills I've learned myself, right? So
Right.
you
Yeah.
get these people together, right? And in one day, so say if you got 30 people together in one day, if you got the materials, right? A lot of people have some good ideas. Not to say people have, look, people, you know, it's difficult for people to agree on anything, but you get together in a community and you build the foundations. You could build a cabin and shelter in one day, right? That it would take you almost 1.5 to 2 years to do by yourself. Is getting together with people like that, and you could achieve amazing things, amazing things. The things that we've achieved here, like where I am now, is on a similar concept. It's the concept. So it's building the concept from planning it to actually doing something about it. Because like a lot of people, I'm a gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and they never
Where
get
you?
around to doing it.
Excuse me, my fault. Where you at?
Well, no, I'm in Australia. I live in. I migrate from the UK to Australia, right?
No.
But the thing is that you know there are people out here who will build things like that. Like they're really good. So is getting like minds together, or you know, Yah-fearing people together, right? And actually saying, okay, it doesn't even matter if you're in a different state. It doesn't matter. You get people together. We're utilizing what they've got now, right? You get somebody who could buy the land, who's got enough like a cash to buy land, right? You'd say if it's like a $200,000 and you've got maybe like a 100,000 acres or whatever have you, it doesn't matter. But anyone who comes on that land, then they can buy their own water tanks, right? You know, they get their own, they set up what they've got, and they build the foundations pretty much. So they get somebody into plumbing the water and all the rest of it like that, gravity fed, right? And you get water catchment, but it's all there. It all starts with a plan. It all starts with an idea. So my idea that I had almost 3 years ago has come to pass now because I planned it. And it all takes plan. It takes people who've got the land, first of all. You got someone who's going to invest in the land.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it. That's
right.
where it takes off. You know, that's where it takes off. And then you get Yah-fearing people together with the determination to leave the system. Anything can be done. Anything can be done. If the Amish can do it, if other small communities can do it, you can do it.
Hey, all right. Ain't my fault. Ain't
Right.
Australia? It's like that's far east, right? How far you is from the Philippines?
I'm not too sure about that because I live in WA, like Western Australia. So you know, it's probably Asia. Like I think our nearest ocean is probably the Indian Ocean. Yeah, but pretty much
You
like
pull it up.
in. Sorry.
No, I'm asking True to pull it up for me. The little map.
Give me a few. I'll pull it up. Give me
I
a few.
thought
But
I think
brother,
I read something. I read something in the Holy Scriptures. You know, be quiet before me, Allen. I told you about that, right?
Why?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, be quiet before me, Allen. And this right now earthquake dragging up mountains right now.
Oh,
It's over there
right.
by
Yeah. Right. I
it's
think
over there by Australia. It's over there by Australia and the Philippines over there. And the island is developing right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but we supposed to try to build a tabernacle with the gold and all that. I've been got to get back into it. I was trying to do a study on it, but I don't know if we're supposed to get the tabernacle and go pay the wood, certain wood to need to build a framework of it. But it's a process. I think it's in what is it, man? Hosea. I think it's off of Hosea. I don't know, but go ahead and talk. I'm gonna try to look for it real quick. Just to be talking about it.
Well,
Go ahead and get there.
actually, what I've read so far, and what I've seen so far, yes, Australia and the Philippines are actually close with the proximity of 924 miles, literally. So I would say yes, absolutely. Which is a good
Oh,
thing, I
you,
guess. I guess it would be something that, when you look at it from that, well, not 924, whatever, 6,290 kilometers. But anyway, the thing
but
is,
that could be the hub if you got the space.
mhm, the thing is, the situation of Brother Ben, you can elaborate it on more than I could, but I was one of the ones that was with you when you made that move from the very beginning. I was
Yep,
actually kind of
it
like
was
side by side with you, but from the
hard.
states, miles away,
Yep.
help, out. So you got to look at it from the perspective of when certain things like you could do that we cannot do. All right. And I'm not saying that we cannot do like
It,
that's
it,
something
it was
that's
scary. Yeah, it was scary. Yeah,
hmm But before we talk about that, let's look at
yeah,
the situation of it, and I think I said it to you. I said you're in a better shape than we are, and when I'm saying we, I'm talking about us as a whole entire those that stuck in
Well,
this America. It's not obviously like
yeah,
better situation than say like myself or better than somebody else's situation might be even better than mine. You know what I mean? I like we could have our own space and place and land, et cetera, et cetera. Not saying that not everybody's gonna have that opportunity, but you have that opportunity. You have that.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So what I'm saying is, what is there to hold a situation like you back from literally not even having to deal with like the situation and what goes on? Like, see, we got to deal with this
But because I
presidential
still have to deal with
elections
it.
with these
Yeah.
laws and stuff,
Mm.
huh?
Yeah, no, no, I like because I still have to work. I mean, like a lot of people, like
Of
I got the
course.
idea as well, like that like this guy, like for instance, he travels an hour and a half, right, to go
Hmm.
to work about 3 or 4 days a week. I only now work part time, so now I'm in a situation where I just do like say 2.5 days a week, right?
Hmm.
My wife does 2.5 days a week, right? Now, the thing is that that's the ideal situation because then that gives me time to build, and I build
Hmm.
and I build and I build. Yeah,
Hmm.
right. I've learned so many new skills. I'm even like almost a 12-volt mechanic now. Pretty much. Electrician, mechanic. I've learned all of these skills over the last 2.5 years.
Hmm.
There's things that I was doing as a city slicker. Like that I've learned how to do. So if anybody ever wants any advice on to do how to do something, I can point you in the right direction. I
What
can't do it
what
for you,
what
but I can point you in the right
what
direction.
what
But the
percentage?
foundation,
Hmm.
yeah, go on. Sorry, you have a question?
Yeah, what
I got
percentage? What percentage are you as far as self-sustained? What is your position with that? I mean, what
Wow.
percentage?
Okay, maybe about I would say about 70%. Like say if everything was to go down tomorrow, I've got my
Hmm.
own power.
Hmm.
We can do our own washing here.
Hmm.
Uh, I've got like a 240 volts, so like full power. Full
Hmm.
power. I'm running multiple fridges,
Hmm.
freezers, all on three lithium lithium battery system, which is what I paid somebody to wire me 20. That's powering. That's powering. Pretty here originally. I had a caravan, so we got a caravan. That's
Hmm.
powering the caravan. I've got like a portable building which we live in as part of our place. Our place
Hmm.
now is bigger than what we had in the city, right?
So
Yeah,
you basically almost are off grid, literally, fully off grid,
yeah.
correct?
Off grid,
Uh,
off grid. The only
mm,
thing that I need fuel for now is every time like because I mean it'll improve, but we've got to wire up a new system to just do the last washing machine, and then we'll have access power. But my lights, here's the kicker. My lights are 12 volt. They're not 240 volt. That's the
mhm.
kicker, you see. So where you don't need to rely on 240 volt to light your place up. You just get those strips, and you're cool. You
How
know?
about how about is you have like a lot of livestock?
Right. So we've got on the farm. We've got it's like they call it a procurement deal. We've got about maybe 1,000 sheep. We've got a couple of
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah.
cows. Right. One we just
Hold on.
recently slaughtered. Right.
Hold
Yeah.
on.
Mm-hmm.
I've got me personally. I
Mm.
own turkeys. I own chickens. I own ducks, and we get eggs from that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going
We get
over there
eggs
with
from
him,
that. So we
yo.
got turkey and chicken and duck eggs, which we sell.
Yeah, I'm going over there
Sorry.
with him, yo. I'm
Yeah.
coming over
So
there.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
but that
so
does take some
so
time.
so I
That
got
does
another
take
question.
time.
I got another question. This one may seem like
Yep.
weird, but why do you need anything outside of that location? I mean, you say you work part time. Are you working part
Because
time
things
because
break
you
down.
have
Things
to?
break down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, part time. No, I
Mm-hmm.
have to. I have to. At the moment, right? But the thing is, like for instance, we just slaughtered one whole cow, right? And we had I would say four families to share, right? But
Mm-hmm.
our freezers are full of this beef that was processed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of one cow. So you can imagine if you're growing your own cow, right, on a big piece of land. Say because I live on
I ain't know we
over
growing cows.
2,600 acres, but there's
Wow, it's
natural
2006.
food on the land. Yeah,
Right.
Bro,
2,600 acres.
bro,
I want to know. I want to know what color the soil is.
somebody, hey, bro,
Any brother want to come from America and move in? I'll put a spot there on the side of my base here, and you can come and live
yeah,
with me. No worries.
So basically, like I said at the beginning, you got it made in the shade. I mean,
right.
why do you have any worries about what's going on outside of that area? Literally.
Because I love as you American brothers,
Say it again. Say it
I
again.
love all y'all. I
If
love
you love
all
all
y'all.
y'all, huh? If you love
Yeah.
all y'all, right? How's that helping the situation out? You know, I get that. I love all my
Oh no,
people
no.
too.
I just want to make sure
I'm
that
saying,
I just want to make sure that
I want to
what?
know. I want to know what is the need for anything outside of that area that you have any worries about. Forget about the love and all of our people. That's
Oh,
great. I want to know.
do you know I have to go?
Right.
I have to go to work. I go to work, right? So I go to work, and it takes me. This is in one direction. I go to
Hmm.
work. It takes me about maybe 50 minutes to get to work.
Mm,
Then if I want to go shopping once a fortnight or maybe once a month, right? I
hmm
can go shopping, right? Because we can be pretty much self-sustained. Other than that, and that would be just to get top-up supplies. The luxuries. But if we had to do it tough, right? When I say luxuries, I mean like all things break down. Things break
hmm
down. So then you want to repair that technology and get things fixed.
hmm
So
Yeah.
that's the only time you're going into town and doing that kind of thing.
But I mean, like that's something that's not really a major situation. Like I'm talking about like we have to go to work. We got to go to work every day because we need to go to work every day so we can live tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have it made in the shade where if you don't, you can do without. You get what I'm saying? You don't have,
Yeah, if I
huh?
have to do, yeah, like anything, innit? Like if you, yeah, and we're growing. Here,
Hmm.
can I just share a video quickly for you? Okay, can
Sure.
I share a video quick?
Hmm.
Yeah. All right, just let me just quickly put it on. Right? Can you see that? So now we're growing. We're growing plants, trees, food. We're
Hmm.
growing everything now. Herbs. So we've got herbs. We're growing things. You feel
Hmm.
me? Yeah. All right. So
Hmm.
we're growing things now, but
What
because like
color is the
it can
soil
be
over there,
really
brother?
the soil's red. It's
Ben.
not really good because it's not good soil. You have to build the soil
Oh,
up. So
Hmm.
so
basically, you have
it's
to
like
But
multi-layer it, mix
sand.
it.
you seen all of this, brother Allen?
Yeah, it's all right.
You see what I was saying when I was with the conversation before we started the show. What I'm saying.
Right.
And then, Yeah, but what I'm saying is black people can achieve in anything, and if we get together as a peoples, can you imagine what we can achieve?
Right.
Bro, how many acres you say you got?
The stars that you. No, I live on 2,600 acres, but the person who bought it, all right, is a God-fearing person, right? She bought it, but the thing is that she's allowed us to live on her land for free. Whatever we have is ours. That's it. Boom,
Mhm.
done.
That's why I
You know?
said you got it made in the shade. You got it
Yeah, we
made in
just
the shade. That means that I don't need to ever hear from you about what's going on in the system and the society
Hey,
because you
hey,
got it
I'm gone.
made
I'm
in the
gone, man.
shade.
I'm gone. I'm history. I'm done, man. I'm done.
Now,
and internet.
I couldn't hear
no,
that. Sorry.
And you have internet.
What happened?
Oh yeah,
no,
I
he
can get
said,
it internet. Like so, basically, I'm using my phone. You can use your phone as a Bluetooth, right? You
mhm,
can use your phone as a Bluetooth, or like so. For instance, I've got a laptop. I can Bluetooth my phone to the laptop, and I can use my laptop, or I can use my phone.
mhm,
Because
Okay.
nowadays you can do pretty much everything with the phone. So, like, I'm calling you, or I'm using my internet from my
mhm,
phone now, and I
mhm,
live about maybe 80 k's out of town, or the nearest town.
mhm.
Hmm.
All
So
right.
that's
So let's say like us four want to come over there. So we're gonna come over there. How we gonna? We're gonna be work there, or we're just gonna be on the land with you?
Man, look, what I have here is just the best of all worlds. Like what I've got is the best of all worlds. So trust me. Even Brother True can come over. I'll put him on one side of the camp, put you on the other. We're good.
you know what I was gonna say. But anyway, brother, let me say this much.
That's true.
In the backlog, in the backstory of this conversation, I don't want to ever hear no more about the system and none of that. You know that, right?
About you ladies making noise. Don't be crying about the police.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that about your Black Wall Street.
Yeah,
All
hold on. This
right.
is your Black Wall Street. What are you talking about? What are you talking about,
All right.
Willis?
Now, what about in situations where you call sickness and in health? What do you do there in that situation? I mean, I'm sure
Oh
you're a
man,
natural.
yeah, that's the
I'm
thing.
sure you're a naturalist, right? Because even like most of us
No,
here, even though we have like hospitals and medical facilities, like
yeah,
majority of us, like me personally, I'm a naturalist, so I don't
no,
depend. I don't depend on these doctors and
yeah,
none of that stuff. So I'm sure you do
I
that.
yeah.
Right.
We're learning, like, like herbal medicines, going back to the roots, right? You know, and a lot of things, like, you'll find that there's got like medicinal properties, strong medicinal properties. We're
Hmm.
learning all about that as we speak. So that's what we're growing. You want your own
Hmm.
supply of herbal remedies and medicines and things like that. So you can dry them, crush them. These are all things that make you self-sustained. Like I said before, if
Hmm.
the Amish can do it, we can do it. You
Right.
know.
No, well, the
So
thing is, the Amish actually are doing it because they doing it. That we can do the same thing, no doubt. Let's still keep giving focus to them, the Amish people. Let's
brother,
focus on us. You know what
no,
I mean?
but credit to them that they're doing it. They're doing it now, right? So you can see it's working. If it works, it works.
Yeah,
We, we can't
absolutely,
we can't say it's not working and it works. So they're
absolutely.
living example
Yeah.
of how to do things.
I
But what
agree
I'm
100% with him.
right,
And
what I'm saying to you though, let's use you as this beacon of light,
you're right. That's
this
what I'm about to say.
ensign. Forget them Amish.
Oh,
You keep
okay.
talking about the Amish as if the Amish has to be buried in meaning. We got a we
No,
got a
because
we got a
because
we got a
that's
nice
something that
we
you
got a
that
nice we got a nice high towered beacon focused with you right now because this is what we can
uh,
we can live
Right.
we can live our bases off of
I
you.
can see Brother Two is trying to sweet talk me because he wants that little spot on the corner there.
No, 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 no,
No,
no,
no,
no,
no.
no,
I'm joking. I'm
no.
joking.
No, because you got to remember. we had to go back a couple of years back, even 2019, that the juice situation that came about.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
was
yep,
I
yep.
was with you from the beginning, and I said to you, brother, no matter what these people bring out at you, you got a way out of it. I said that, did I not say that?
Yep. And the funny thing was, right? The funny thing was that I wasn't even sure if I was going to go in that direction, but I did. I did.
hmm hmm Well, either way, that's why we have platforms like this where we could, you know, honestly talk and discuss certain matters in such a way and make the point. Because obviously, when we before we open up, we was having a kind of almost like it wasn't heated, but it was like going nowhere. It was not really like literally being helpful to the situation. You notice how I turned it into uh this situation because I call it habitual Hebrews, etc., etc. You know what I mean? And then I think when we opened up, we started to talk about Kamala Harris and Trump and how they have no bearing to any fucking thing. And
But bro,
you know,
every time we open up, we always switch right on this subject. Growing up, point though,
hmm
but that's where with you.
hmm
Uh,
hmm and
Oh,
literally,
I've got one more tip as well. Sorry, I got one
hmm
more tip I want to share, which we just learned this year. If you don't want to break your back trying to pull out weeds from your garden, right? I'm talking about if you don't care that if there's no grass or whatever have you, just put your chickens there. They'll get rid of your weeds for you.
there you go, there you go. You're using what you call mental ingenuity.
that's
very,
right.
very intuitive, very intuitive. All right,
That's good.
all right. Let's go
Yeah.
to Brother Allen. Pull out First Samuel chapter 7.
First Samuel's.
First Samuel chapter 7. All
Okay.
right, we learned about the world. We're supposed to learn about the world after we learn about ancient historical Israel. But let's go back. We open up with needing presidents and all that, not needing to vote for, no. Well, we're gonna go to a situation where ancestors was in a dire situation, and literally the Philistines were on the asses.
Right.
They had an enemy. Remember, I
Right.
said that these people that we have now trying to get in office, you know, I guess they want to be what you call heroic to something, but they're really not. I mean, what is their positions on saving the people, doing better for the whole entire people? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. All right, doing nothing. All right, let's start it out. First Samuel 7. Start reading maybe a couple of verses in there, and then let's stop, pause, and look at some of these things here. All right,
Okay.
all right.
I'm gonna go to First Samuel chapter 7, and I'll be reading out of the Hebraic Roots Bible
Mm-hmm.
translation. Um, Here we go. And the men of Kirthjar Jearim came
Mm-hmm.
and brought up the ark of Yahweh and brought it to the house of Abinadab in the hill, and they sanctified his son Eleazar to keep the ark of Yahweh. And it
Mm-hmm.
happened from the day the ark began to dwell in Kirthjar, if I'm saying this right, Jearim, and days became many. There were 20 years, and all the house of Israel lamented after Yahweh.
All right,
And
stop, 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 stop. We got to look at that. We got to stop. We got to think about this. Two things there. Obviously, sanctifying Eleazar, I mean, a Levitical priesthood situation, obviously, because the priesthood was the ones that kept the ark. Basically, the ones that kept the housing of any properties pertaining to the house of Israel as their, what you say, go-to spot, right? The ark of the Lord, the ark of the Most High. The focus here was on the Most High from the very beginning, right?
right,
Very beginning. Right, verse 2. And it came to pass while the ark abode, and that name is a hard name, so I don't blame you for saying it wrong, but we're going to just say Okay, that the time was long, for it was 20 years, in all the house of Israel lamented after who? The Most High, right?
Right.
Right.
Not president to be Trump or president to be Kamala Harris or Martin Luther King or such or such. Their focus was on lamenting after the Most High.
Right.
One of the first lessons that we need to stick with and keep it in our heads is everything needs to be put on him. Bring it to the Most High. He'll fix it. All right. Go ahead. Finish reading from 7:3.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Samuel said to all the house of Israel, saying, if you are returning to Yahweh with all your heart, put
Say it
aside.
again. Say it again.
And Samuel said to all the house of Israel, saying, if you are returning to Yahweh with all your heart, put aside the foreign Elohims from among you and an Ashtoreth, and prepare your heart to Yahweh and serve him only, and he will deliver you out of the hand of the Philistines.
So the system can't hold you back if you put your focus on who. Go ahead.
Facts.
Yahweh,
Big fact.
All right, keep going. Keep going. I love this.
And the sons of Israel put away the Baals and the
Balaam.
Asherah
Mm-hmm.
and served Yahweh only.
Serve him only.
Right. And Samuel said, gather all Israel to Mizpah, and I will pray to Yahweh for you.
Mm-hmm.
And they were gathered to Mizpah and drew water and poured out before Yahweh. And they flashed on that day and said, there, we have sinned against Yahweh. And Samuel judged the sons of Israel in Mizpah.
Mm-hmm.
And the Philistines heard that the sons of Israel had gathered.
Pause again. Pause again. Let's go to Black Wall Street. In the Ku Klux Klan, saw them doing good. Go ahead.
Okay.
Right, though.
Go ahead.
Okay. This is 7. I think
Mm-hmm.
verse 7. And the Philistines heard that the sons of Israel have gathered to Mizpah, and the rulers of the Philistines went up against Israel. And the sons of Israel heard, and they were afraid before the Philistines.
Discouraged. Discouraged. We don't need to be discouraged.
Right. And the
All it takes.
sons of Israel said to Samuel, do not cease to cry to Yahweh our Elohim for us, that he will save us out of the hand.
Keep going.
And Samuel took a milk lamb and offered a whole burnt offering to Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
And Samuel cried to Yahweh for Israel, and Yahweh answered him.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened as Samuel made a whole burnt offering to go up, the Philistines drew near to battle against Israel.
Ku Klux Klan is coming. Black Wall Street. Go ahead.
And Yahweh thundered with a great noise on that day on the Philistines and troubled them, and they were stricken before Israel.
Stricken, smitten, put out of their positions, made looking bad, got their ass burnt. Not literally burnt, but they got their ass and some shit. You see the point? You see the point? His point was hit quickly and early, right? Quickly and early. Keep going.
And the men of Israel went out from Mizpah and pursued the Philistines and struck them as far as below Bethkar. And Samuel took a stone and set it between Mizpah and Shen, and call its name Stone of Help, saying, Yahweh has helped us until now.
Basically, Ebenezer, where we get that saying Ebenezer. The stone was set there as a reminder that all our focuses, dependencies, literally based upon everything to do with the Most High. Look back at that. Remember that. Keep going.
All right.
And the Philistines were subdued and did not yet again come into the border of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And the hand of Yahweh was on the Philistines all the days of Samuel.
On day next.
Hey, facts though.
All right, brother Ben, you're gonna pull out your book if you got one, and let's go give Alan a break and read a little bit too. You still there, brother Ben?
I think he fell off.
Oh well, brother Alan, I hate to say it, brother, you're gonna have to read some more.
Okay, not a problem. Well, that's
I hope he does come back and rewatch this portion here because this is the greater portion that he needs to swallow. Go ahead.
okay. And this is verse 14. And the cities which the Philistines had taken from Israel were restored to Israel from Ekron even to Gath. And Israel delivered their border out of the hand of the Philistines, and there was peace between Israel and the Amorites. And Samuel judged Israel all the days of his life. And he went from year to year, even in a circuit, to Bethlehem, to Gilgal, and Mizpah, and judged Israel in all these places. And he returned to Ramah, for his house was there, and there he judged Israel, and he built an altar to Yahweh there.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now we can all say we learned a lot in a short amount of time. 17 verses. 17 verses. Right? Now think about people don't realize that Samuel was the last judge over Israel. You know that? The last judge over Israel. Because we all know that after that, you know what Israel wanted to have, right? They wanted to have a king. Give me a king. Give me a king. Give me somebody. You know what I mean? But he was the last judge. He was basically almost, I would say, another Moses or another Joshua to Israel too. Because he was a prophet, even though they don't really like to write him down as a prophet. You know, they like to put him down as a priest because obviously he was a priest too. And also, instead of saying prophet, they call him a seer. Okay, you know, obviously the other persuasions they love to do that, but between us here would love to hear about our Hebrew heritage. Samuel was a prophet. Okay, he was a priest. He was a judge. He was literally almost fitting in with Joshua, unlike like being like Moses to the people. All right, would anybody agree with that?
I agree 100%.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Definitely.
I mean, literally, let's elaborate on that for a little while because all the good that we can think about of Samuel, you know, his historical uh information is pretty much kept well in order. You know what I mean? It's like it'd be kind of hard for the other persuasions to kind of misconstrue him up and put JC in his place. You know, even though when he was born, you know, Hannah's prayer, the very first instance of the mention of the word Christ was mentioned about who? Samuel.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
The very first mention of a Christ. He was the first Christ. He was the Christ. Okay.
We can't also forget that Samuel was a prophet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was a prophet. So
I think you touched on a great subject because a lot of Israel and Judah don't realize, like you stated out plainly, once you want a king, the Most High is like, okay, whatever, what does it got to do with me? It's like it says in I think like the next couple of verses. Now that you have chosen the king, it said it in the next couple of verses. Now that you have chosen a king, I won't listen to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's where we're gonna go. I'm gonna pull out the next chapter. I'm gonna read a little bit. I mean, if you want to help too, brother Vicar, you pull out and help because you know how the story goes too. All right.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna start it off. Give Alan a break. Read First Samuel chapter 8. All right. And if I say something you want to pause me, just say pause. I'll stop, and I'm gonna do it anyway because I'm gonna hit some of the good spots. Brother Ben,
Okay.
you're back. I don't know if you want to help us out too.
So yeah, that look, bad connection today. So if I drop out, that's the connection because there's a bit of it's quite windy today.
Yeah, I understand that. Let me see if I can put this. hmm Put this on the screen. Oh, I don't know why. Got to go through all of that, but it is what it is.
Mm.
I'm gonna have to read it for now, as it is. I can't actually put it on the screen because I'll have to update and close out. But anyway, First Samuel chapter 8, verse 1. I'm gonna be reading from the King James version, obviously blue leather version, because might hit some spots in here. May want to get some Hebrew clarity. Clarity.
Okay.
All right. All right. Israel demands a king is the title of this. Israel demands a king. And it came to pass when Samuel was old that he made his sons judges over Israel. Now the name of his firstborn was Joel, and the name of his second Abiah. There were judges in Beersheba. All right. Anybody know where Beersheba is located at as far as Israel? No.
Oh,
It's just a side question. Just a side question. Did I have a reason if somebody knows?
Okay, I think I know.
Mm-hmm.
Beersheba, isn't that in modern day Turkey?
uh,
Isn't that right? Modern day Turkey today,
uh,
Beersheba.
it
Because
was.
I know there was a battle for it, Beersheba.
I know it's in southern Israel.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the border of Judah. It's
Mm-hmm.
mentioned as the southern boundary of ancient Israel. So, um,
Mm-hmm.
that's where it's at. So,
Okay.
where is it?
Basically, it's the northern Negev region of Israel, literally the northern portion. All
Yeah.
right, northern portion. The reason why I was asking that because a lot of times we get into this, disputes with the land is such and such, and blah blah blah. Well, you have certain things that outside of that land area, that can lead us, close to the area. You know what I mean, and not like thousands of miles away and off map and all that stuff. You
Right.
know what I mean?
So it's
Yeah.
basically supposed to be
He's over
south
here.
of
He's
Tel Aviv,
over,
southwest of Jerusalem,
Mm-hmm.
where it's
All right.
located. So,
All right.
I mean, that's modern times.
All right. And that's why I didn't really want to answer him when he said Turkey, because Turkey is kind of like I don't know. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
hey, yo, I'm starting to think. I don't know yet. I'm starting to think from all this over here in the U.S., man.
What
But
happened?
I'm gonna elaborate on it later. I gotta do more on
I
it.
didn't hear what he said. What did he say?
Everything over here in the U.S. everything backwards.
Everything in the U.S. You mean the
Yeah,
names in the U.S., not the actual land, because we have landmarks that have the same names of the ancient places that was in an
I know,
accurate.
I know. Yeah, I know. I know. But
Mhm.
like I said, I got to do more. There's more to it, though. That's the way I feel, though. But it don't got nothing to do with our salvation. So, no
Okay.
worries.
Mhm. But anyway, we'll maybe make a dedication or that type of topic too later on. But anyway, let me finish reading verse 3. And his sons walked not in his ways. His sons walked not in his ways, meaning that Samuel's sons didn't do like Samuel. Didn't do like Samuel.
Right.
So if somebody was to say, well, now I can see why Israel was demanding a king. You know, the ones that was the judges after Samuel. You know, I didn't consider them judges, even though it scripturally says there was assigned to be judges, but obviously they did not walk in the ways. All right, and he said unto them, "Behold, behold." Did I skip something? Yeah, I skipped. And his sons walked not in his ways, but turned aside after lucre, and took bribes and perverted judgment. Hold on. Let me look at that again. And his sons walked not in his ways, but turned aside after lucre, and took bribes and perverted judgment. It's the same thing.
Right.
Like some of these
Yeah, took a
some of these
bribe.
some of these presidents, or should say,
Mhm.
these wanting to be president, would end up doing when they get their asses in them offices.
Yeah, they do. A lot of our people do that too.
Yeah, oh
I can't
yeah,
stand it.
Congressman, senator, ooh, they is, just do it over and over. I want to get in this office, by any means necessary. Give me your vote. But when I get in office, I forget about what I was gonna do for you, and I'm gonna
That they call them super
eat
PACs.
good. Super
That's what they
Right.
call them, super PACs.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Took bribes and perverted judgment. Perverted judgment is like saying the person's gonna have cloudy judgment. Pretty much, they're not gonna even care about what needs to be. To be honest with you, their focus is not gonna be on what the need of the black man is. Nope, 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 nope. I think I heard it sometime, even on social, even if it was on social media, that one guy said, talking about Trump, said he was going to try as a promise to do away with the tax on overtime.
Oh my gosh.
I know
Oh,
that's
man.
you ain't pulling my leg.
Yeah, I would do away with the tax and overtime. Oh man, that sounds good.
Yeah, it
And
do.
then I think she responded something similar. She would do away with something too.
Because he
They be
was going
like,
to increase
these
the
jokers,
child credit.
all they're gonna do is tell us or sell us some bullshit. When they get in
Mhm.
office, they ain't gonna do shit. Be honest.
Right.
All right. But then we got people out here pushing, whether it be the Trump side, or the red, or the blue side, Democrat, Kamala side. Oh, she's gonna be. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Okay? Neither one of them gonna do shit. All right. Verse 4. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together and came to Samuel unto Ramah and said unto him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations. You see? Obviously, other nations had kings. Israel didn't really ever have a king. We know this anyway. We should know this. And what are we doing here? What are the ancients doing here? Following behind what the other nations do, right? Literally, because they have a king, blah, blah, blah. They're not having a good judgment or good judgment mindset was not quite good enough. So you got to have that hero once again, right? So let's go along with this. But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, Give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto the Most High. This is like outside of his scope because he's like, What the hell, man? Oh, what I've been doing for you, for my people all this time and guiding the people to certain things, and now what are they doing? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Put him
Right.
on the spot. Situation is crazy. But the thing displeased Samuel when they say, Give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Samuel, Hearken unto the voice of the people in all that they say unto thee, for they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them. You see this now? Huh?
Right.
Right.
They want to put a king over them, right? Not realizing that that's like saying put a king over the Most High too.
Right. What
Right.
happened? They wanted to be like they wanted to be like the other nations. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm. It's a powerful thought there. Powerful thought there. The points
Yes,
very
indeed.
made early. You see now, right? Focus again.
Yes.
Back on the Most High. Dependence on the Most High, and everything will be all right. Take that focus off. Things are not going to be all right. While we in the conditions, situations we are today, focus
Right.
off of the Most High. God is there, and we're gonna stay where we at to the day when our loved ones call the undertaker and give him that insurance policy to bury our asses. You know why?
Why?
Because the focus is not on the Most High. That's why. That's why. All right, Brother Allen,
Yes, sir.
verse 7.
Verse
I
7.
read that. I read that. But start back from 6 and then hit 7 and 8.
Okay, and this is chapter 8.
First Samuel chapter 8, verse 6, 7, and 8. You can go to 9 if you wish.
Okay.
I ain't gonna stop you.
Okay. All right. And the thing was evil in Samuel's eyes when they said, "Give to us a king to judge us." And Samuel prayed to Yahweh. And Yahweh said to Samuel, "Listen to the voice of the people, to all that they say to you. For they have not rejected you, but they have rejected me from reigning over them. According to all the works that they have done from the day I brought them out of Egypt, even to this day, when they forsake me and serve other Elohim. So they are also doing to you. And now listen to their voice. Only protesting you shall protest to them, and shall declare to them the privilege of the king who should reign over them."
Give these niggas what they want. Since they want to have a king, give them what they want. They're not gonna like it.
Mm, good.
They're not gonna like it in the end.
No, no, not.
There's also a theme to a Christian killer if you really go further deep in detail to this. But go ahead. Go ahead. Read the next verse. It's
Okay.
gonna get gonna get hot, gonna get heated, gonna
And
get
what I think that was I think
verse
that was
9.
that's
Verse
9.
9. Mm-hmm.
And now listen to their voice.
Stop
Only
talking about, didn't
protesting you shall protest to them, and shall declare to them the privilege of the king who shall reign over them. And
Mm-hmm.
Samuel spoke all the words of Yahweh to the people who were asking a king from him. And
Mm-hmm.
he said, "This is the privilege of the king who shall reign over you. He shall take your sons and shall appoint them for himself among his chariots and among his horsemen, and they shall run before his chariots. And he will
Right,
appoint
though.
for himself heads of thousands
Mm-hmm.
and heads of fifties, and
Mm-hmm.
to plow his plowing, and to reap his reaping,
Mm-hmm.
and to make wait a minute, and to make weapons for war for him, and weapons for his charioteer. And he will take your daughters
Mm-hmm.
for perfumers, and for cooks, and for bakers.
Mm-hmm.
And he will take your fields,
Mm-hmm.
and your vineyards, and your olive yards,
Mm-hmm.
the best, and give them to his servants.
Mm-hmm.
He will tithe your seed in your vineyards, and will give them
Damn.
to his eunuchs and to his servants. And he will take your male slaves and your slave girls and the best of your young men and your donkeys, and will use them for his own work. He will tithe your flock, and you will be servants to him. And you will cry out in that day because of your king who you have chosen for yourselves, and Yahweh will not answer you in that day.
Pause. 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 You get the message. This
Right.
message
I
was
got the
straight,
message.
the straight from.
You want a physical king?
This
So
is you
whatever
gonna
he
get.
does, don't call me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Right.
call me.
Let's put that in the principle of modern day time, Mr. President. Mrs. President, whoever you want to call her. You
Mhm.
want her, right? You want him, right? Wait till they get in that
Mhm.
office. Wait till they get in that position.
Right.
You think they gonna do right by you?
No, no, of course not.
Thought the same thing about Obama.
Gonna be running before the chariot,
But
plying
hey,
they fields
see how
again.
see how Samuel gave the message that was told to him by the Most High. All of that shit is
Yo,
crazy.
what's up, Smash?
All that stuff is crazy, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
word
Right.
for word, he was not playing when he was saying it to them. It was basically a warning. You
You
want a
see
king?
that now?
Mm-hmm. You want somebody over you? That you really saying you want somebody over you and not me? Who I was the one, like he keeps giving us that receipt. Took your black asses out of Egypt. Took, you know what I'm saying? Helped your asses out. And now
Right.
you want to put a king?
Yeah. Here's your
Yep.
king. Don't call me.
Don't call me.
Crazy. And they like it too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Now that was literally pretty much all of chapter 8, right? I mean, I don't think you missed anything.
No, I got up to verse 18.
hmm I
Yeah.
mean, it's pretty much saying the same thing, literally. Matter of fact, I might as well read it out. And you should cry out on all in that day because of your king, which you shall have chosen, which ye have chosen, and the Lord will not hear you in that day. Nevertheless, the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel. It's like it's always the bad habit. When it comes down to something of good sound advice, they don't want to hear it. They don't want to
No.
go by that. Nope, 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 nope. I don't want to hear it. Nevertheless, the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel, and they said, "Nay, but we will have a king over us. We will have a king over us. We will have a president over us. Uh-huh. That we also may be like all the nations, that our king may judge us and go out before us and fight our battles." We need another hero every time. God,
Mm,
damn,
mm.
damn, damn. All right. And Samuel heard all the words of the people, and he rehearsed them in the ears. In other words, basically, he basically took it back up to the Most High. And the Lord said to Samuel, "Hearken unto their voice and make them a king. Make them a king. Make them a king. That's what they want." hmm All right. Let's go to chapter 9. Chapter 9.
Hey,
Chapter 9.
hey, they let you know he'll give you what you want. He will
hmm
do it.
hmm
Yeah.
Now I'm scrolling back and forth between, because I can't really put nothing on the screen today. Brother Vakar says, I'm just reading some of the things I haven't been posting on there. Oh, great 202. Shalom, Vakar and Smash. All right. Smash and Idol. He popped on. Good, good, good. Shalom, Smash and Idol. All right. Anybody else want to add to that before we go to chapter 9?
No, I'm good. I just know y'all will do it. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll give you what you want. You want a
Mm-hmm.
king? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Now we can start focusing on that king. That's king. King Saul. All right, smashing an idol. What's going on, brother? Been a while. Been a while.
Yeah, yeah, peace. Man, I know it's been a minute, man. I've been going through. I've been, been going through some changes and shit. But yeah, I think I popped on and stuff. I seen y'all was on. Like, no, I gotta get up here, man. I've been MIA a little bit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shalom.
Y'all, y'all have you and True.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
Smash.
We didn't actually do a show last week. Technical difficulties on my behalf. In other words, my ass was tired. I've been working, but I make it up. I'm back. Mhm. Tonight we having such bad disconnection issues. It's like they don't want us to, I guess, get together. This is one of their plots again.
Yeah, I think it's that
Yeah,
storm.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, bro, quick question. Is anywhere in the scripture that say we can't gamble? I think we're allowed to gamble. I don't see nowhere where he's talking against it.
I don't see anywhere. I don't
Anybody
see that.
know
I
anything
don't
about
see
that?
that. I don't see nothing to get it. And I'm tell you right now that what you're gonna say about gambling is there's got to be some scriptures for it to be against it. So I don't read any scriptures. You know
I
what I mean?
ain't looking
If you want to be
finding
honest,
nothing.
if you want to be honest, to be honest with you, when you look at like what gambling and stuff is, it basically the etymology of break it all the way down to casting lots. So if you really get technical, casting lots is in the scriptures. Our ancestors did that a lot. You know what I mean? Anyway, so that could be a form, like just something to think about.
No, but
I got a
okay, yeah,
point too.
but
That's
with
chapter 8.
casting lots, that was making decisions for dividing the lands and stuff like that. But y'all already said that in somewhere in the scripture that we will build out no. That was from Miss face. How you say Miss manifestation? We will build out no priests, no manifestations. I think that right there was cast a lot before, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it before. Like I said, I don't try to search the scripture. So far, the best part I don't see the word was besides gambling. They say nothing against gambling.
Well,
I got
like
a
the way I look at it as, you know what, a lot of times, like the situation might have been, like you said, with the casting lots as far as like the land, or even read some of it in the New Testament over robes, all that
Even
bullshit.
when when Jonah was on the ship, when Jonah
Hmm.
was on the ship, they cast lots of something. That right there,
Hmm.
that's like pick out the man or something like that.
Hmm.
Feel like we was on the raft and somebody need to jump off. We're gonna cast lots to see who's gonna jump off. Whoever
Hmm.
pull the lot.
Hmm. But gambling is gambling, and casting lots, I would say, is casting lots. I think they're actually something to say we'd have a good discussion about, but as far as it being the same thing, I would have to disagree of being the same thing. I think they're not different. But hey, we can
hey,
elaborate on that on one time.
I got to come in on that chapter 8. My phone was messing up or something.
Hmm. But go
Uh,
ahead, go ahead.
yeah, my 2 cents.
Hmm. Had a,
Hello. Yeah,
yeah.
here it is. Okay, yeah. My thing is that I'm elaborate on that. My thing is I think that story was teaching us that he was a well-known priest among Israel, and so when his two sons decided to stray off of the righteous path,
Hmm.
they actually set off a chain reaction for the rest of the generation of Israel. And
Hmm.
we don't real well. A lot of us don't realize now that that's what happens in Israel today with us. We have somebody who's father or maybe well known, or maybe a celebrity, and then their sons begin to be wicked, and our generation follow behind those same sons.
Hmm.
So it's like a precursor. Like, oh, so we know. Let's say we know Emmett Smith. Emmett Smith had 5 sons. Everybody
Hmm.
know Emmett Smith was famous, and then his 5 sons say, hey, we all joining the street gang. We all selling dope. We all BMF, BMF, and
Hmm.
the generation are gonna follow them.
Hmm.
And so that's what we have going on right now today. I had
Hmm.
just wanted to say that because I know a lot of people don't look at it like that, but that's exactly what's going on.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, smashing out. Yeah, I see what you're saying. You got this thing up here about a lot, et cetera, et cetera. But we got to keep in mind. You got to keep in mind if you look at the etymology of the word, it's actually not literally, you know, it's kind of defined by man. So we got to kind of like put that in
And
consideration.
it's not called lots. Neither it's called Uma. It's called something else, Uma Thurman or something like that.
Mhm.
What I'm saying about the whole lot thing is that is something that we did back then, and according to even old English or whatever, it's about with dice or straw. I'm just saying like that. Those are things that we did back then. It's obvious, and maybe just a gambling thing. They did something and switched it around and made that shit wicked in these days. That's all.
Mhm. Yeah, but like I said,
Uh,
we'll one day we'll do a discussion on that because it's a good point. I'm not gonna knock anything when it comes down to that because we all at the point where we can learn something new every day. So let's don't you know put it
Uma
down.
Thurman, Uma Thurman, Uma Thurman.
Hmm. You know what I mean? Let's get back. Let's go back. Let's go back to chapter 9, First Samuel, real quick. All right. Let's get a little focus on. We all know what comes next, right? Literally, Saul, famous Saul. You know, Saul. Now there was a man of Benjamin whose name was Kish. Whose name was Kish, the son of Abiel, the son of Zerah, the son of Bechoros, the son of Aphiah, a Benjamite, a mighty man of power. A mighty man of power. And he had a son whose name was Saul, a choice young man and a goodly. And there was not among the children of Israel a goodlier person than he. From his shoulders and upward, he was higher than any of the people. Now, this goodlier is basically saying like goodlier looking, I guess, for as their features that I guess at that time for him, a tall guy, strong, stocky, looked like he could defend, the best of the best, right? He had to look. So, literally, they didn't want to choose that man based off of that. You understand what I'm saying? All right. And the asses of Kish, Saul's father, were lost. And Kish said to Saul, his son, take now one of the servants with thee and arise and go seek the asses. His mules, his donkeys, etc., etc. And he passed through Mount Ephraim and passed through the land of Shalisha, but they found them not. And they passed through the land of Shalem, and there they were not. And he passed through the land of the Benjamites, but they found them not. And when they were come to the land of Zuph, Saul said to his servants that was with him, come and let us return, lest my father leave caring for the asses and take thought for us. And he said unto him, behold, now there is in the city a man of God, and he is an honorable man. All that he says cometh surely to pass. Now let us go thither. Peradventure he can show us our way that we should go. Then said Saul to his servant, but behold, if we go, what shall we bring the man? For the bread is spent in our vessels, and there is not a present to bring to the man of God. What have we? Question mark. Well, I'm sure we all know who this man of God is that we're talking about, without any doubts, right? Matter of fact, let's play a little quick guessing game. Who is this man of God that this is talking about? Literally, we should know because this gives us the first time hearing that word man of God too. We hear about it again in First Kings 13, a different man of God, of course, but what a man of God is. Anybody want to
That'd be
express their thoughts?
that'll be Samuel, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. What about you, Brother Allen? Anybody else? Put their thoughts on it.
No, not me.
Nah, I didn't hear you. Could you say that again?
In that verse, when we first time hearing the impression of hearing about a man of God, I just wanted to know our thoughts on it. Who do we think that this man of God is that it's talking about? That
Wait a minute. Hold up, because I'm
Verse 7, 9 and 7.
because I to be honest, I was going in and out. I was muted, so I didn't
Mm-hmm.
really hear
Mm-hmm.
much of what you guys were saying.
Yeah. Verse 7, chapter 9.
Okay,
Okay,
this
Saul
is
or David.
okay. We're in chapter 9,
Mm-hmm.
and what verse was that?
7.
7. And Saul should say to this young man, Ye before we go, what will we bring in the man? For the bread from our vessels is gone, and there is no present to bring to the man of Elohim,
Mm-hmm.
who is with us. That's a good one. No one knows.
Yeah, it's that's Samuel.
Already, yeah. Even though I already said the answer, I didn't know it though.
Okay, all right. So yeah,
So what it
that's
was? What it was? Samuel.
that.
Smash.
Was it South said to
Smash.
young man? South said to young man. Yeah, we have. Yeah, that's
Samuel,
what it
yeah.
was. So, like I said, I was in and out, and I'm honest. I didn't hear. I wasn't following because I going in and out.
Yeah.
So
No, no, I don't blame you because it's for some reason it's been like a bad connections all over the place. So I understand. But yes, it's obviously talking about Samuel. Talking about Samuel. The reason why I wanted to ask that question is because we get another title literally. And it's the first time that title is mentioned. Obviously Moses was a man of God too, right? And Joshua was a man of God too, and so forth and so on and so forth. It goes to the point that that's a title also put on a prophet, and also a title put on those that literally exactly what that means, man of God. You get what I'm saying?
right.
That could be you,
So
I, your brothers, and everybody else too. You know, it's like
right,
it's no specific what you call thing that you need to do to be. It's just that you be basically one that literally points to the Most High.
right. I would believe a man of God is someone who is under the services and works for God,
Hmm.
basically. Because I'm looking here and it says, "Who are the men of God?" in the Bible. It says the term "man of God" appears 78 times in 72 verses of the Bible, and application up to 13 individuals. Like you said, Moses, Deuteronomy 33, chapter verse 1, Joshua
Hmm.
14:6, Psalms 90, verse 1, Ezra, chapter 3, verse 2, Chronicles 23:14, Chronicles chapter 30, verse 16. Moses is the only person called man of God in the Torah.
Hmm.
So that's just in the Torah. So we're not even including the Tanakh.
Right. Well,
So
obviously, when we dealing with the histories that we outside of the scope of the what you call, just say the Pentateuch. Don't say Torah. We gotta help correct the people because when we say Torah, we know that the Torah is law. Torah is instruction. Torah is guidance, and that's included anywhere that's done. So we'd have to be more accurate and say the Pentateuch. All right.
okay,
The first 5 books of Moses is the Pentateuch, literally.
right,
All right. Even though the Jewish persuasion or the Julian, as we know it,
oh,
persuasion, they say the same thing. First 5 books.
right. We
That's
can't we
Torah.
can't forget Shimshon. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a man of God.
Hmm. All of the judges
Oh,
literally should have
right,
been. Even Deborah should have been, but obviously
right,
she wouldn't be called a man of God. But
right,
literally, that's what that is. You're not saying that because you're a judge or a prophet or a king
right,
or a priest or you know, literally someone that's Like even Brother Ben would say, he loves his people, and I would
Right.
hope it's pertained for the love of the Most High. So he would be a man
Right.
of God. All right. All right. And it wasn't that something that was serious. It's a notation. Someone could literally have to put in their notes. All right.
Right. So this is what it says, man of God. Biblical title of respect applied to prophets and beloved religious leaders,
Mm-hmm.
showing the humbleness and helplessness for God to God by humans. So
Mm-hmm. The only reason why I didn't really say something about the modern day preachers and stuff like that because they are supposed to represent that, but
right.
majority of
Well,
them teach that fish, so I can't really say that they're.
right. I mean,
That's-
respectfully, um, like you said, the modern day preachers, they deal mostly with supersessionism,
mhm,
and that's something that we do not teach because we are the people that supersessionism talks about. They believe that God has no more purpose for um, the Israelites, but that's not written in any scripture.
Hey,
So,
can you read Hosea 3:4-5? I think it said we're gonna be without a priest, without a this and that. So, bro, we like really on our own, bro. No
right,
pastor, no none of that.
right.
mhm.
You said Hosea. Right, right, right.
Yes, 3 and 4.
Okay.
Hosea 3:4-5.
Hmm. Yeah, he's
71.
talking
I'm
about
saying it right.
he's talking about the time frame when Israel, the northern kingdom, literally, and later the southern kingdom went, into captivity, so they didn't have none of that.
Okay.
But go
And
ahead.
what chapter was that?
Hosea 3, 4, and 5.
Okay. Okay. So Hosea chapter 3.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And I'll be reading out of the Hebraic Roots Bible. And it says here, chapter 3. And Yahweh said to me, go again, love a woman loved by a friend, yet an adulteress, according to the love of Yahweh,
Huh?
towards the sons of
No,
Israel. I'm going to get to that.
no.
Who turned to other gods and loved raising cakes of grapes. So I brought her for myself with 15 pieces of silver and for a homer of barley and half of barley. And I said, say to her, you shall remain with me many days. You should not be a harlot and not be to a man. I also will be for you. For the sons of Israel shall remain many days with no king and no ruler, with no sacrifice, no pillars, no Ephraim, or no teraphim.
Hmm.
Afterward, the sons of Israel shall return and seek Yahweh their Elohim and David their king, and they shall fear Yahweh and his goodness in the end of the days.
Right, right.
That's
That
chapter 3.
right, and that was good that you read from verse 1 because, like I said, it kind of gives even more clarity that that verse is not. A lot of people think that chapter in that first verse 3 and 4 it says talk about modern times, even though it has some apparent connection because we don't have these things today. But
Right.
that was basically time specific, and it was talking about when the northern kingdom was going to go into
Yeah.
captivity in Assyria, and the southern kingdom was going to go into captivity by Babylon.
But that right
Uh-huh.
that mean that we won't be having no prophets neither no more. Nobody won't be coming as a prophet saying they're a prophet from y'all done, for not us like go behind them too.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
I don't. For some reason, I don't. The part I don't go with is the profit part because it was specific. Because you got to look at it. We would have prophets regardless of it because we ourselves are supposed to be prophets, and that scripture that says in the latter days, latter times, and even those times of timeline that the children would prophesy. So
Right.
literally,
Uh,
we
and
we
what's that at the end? What's that at the end of that verse, brother? The Ephraim.
Oh, it says, "For the sons of Israel shall remain many days with no king and no ruler, with no sacrifice, no pillars, and no Ephraim or teraphim."
All right, Teraphim. Teraphim. What's that? That's like cast a lot, like manifestations, right?
That is a teraphim in the Bible is like a household god. God. It's like a household god.
like a knickknack stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh,
You know, that's what it is. I mean,
why would we
something.
have one of them?
What do you mean? What? It's just basically an idol.
Yeah,
I know that
basically.
why we would have one.
You got people that idolize movie stars. You never heard people say, "Oh, that's my idol." Michael
Yeah,
Jackson's my
yeah, yeah.
idol.
Okay. Yeah, I understand.
You know
Hmm.
that they don't realize they don't people. And I'll be honest. When I was young, I used to say the same thing. But it wasn't until I got righteous that, as a righteous person, you're not supposed to put so much emphasis on another man or
Right.
another woman,
Yeah.
because the only emphasis you're supposed to
Mm,
put on anybody is the Most High God.
Right. So in other words, it's like you're saying,
Right.
in those days, in that time frame, they wouldn't have nobody to look up to.
Correct.
No ensign. No
Because
one to
I hear
put their
people
burdens on.
online, I hear people online now, and I laugh because I don't say nothing because I don't want to start anything. Oh, I love Beyonce. She's my idol. I want to be like her. I want to have money like her. No, you don't, because you don't know what she had to do to get that money.
mm. And
Okay?
shit, I don't even think they got all that money they say they got.
They probably
But
don't.
like bro said, trust me, people had that much money, they'll be doing way more. I think.
Well, I can tell you from reading and doing research, the Forbes list is not it's fraudulent. A lot of stuff they put what people are worth, it's not true. But they do that for status. As
Hmm.
far as, or they'll tell them to put this. Like at one point, uh, this was years ago. Trump was on the list saying he was worth this much, and he doesn't have that type of money.
Hmm.
Like I tell people now, I don't believe he's a billionaire
Well,
because the
you know.
towers and stuff, that he supposedly owns, he
Mhm.
doesn't own them anymore. You know, and a lot of stuff like,
Well, I
okay,
know the
well,
ones down here, he just had his name on them. Or they
right,
took his
but
name off him. Yeah.
right, but here's the thing. Years ago, I used to work for the Marriott. The Marriott, they rent out their name to that building to give the building
Yeah,
status, and they get money for it. So a lot of people don't be that you think own the building really don't own it.
yeah.
And I only know that because, like I said, I work for the Marriott, and I ask questions, and they said, "Oh, the guy he just rents out. He lets us use his name, but he doesn't own this building, but we use his name for status.
Mhm.
So we get
Yeah.
more clientele. So
What do
now,
you
oh,
think they do when they like to try to get the best vote? They try to make that person's character, shine. You get what I'm
right,
saying?
stand out,
Stand
talk
out.
about their accomplishments and the things they've done. You know, so that's how it works in politics. You know, politics, like I said earlier, is a dirty game. In order for us to have a seat in the chair, imaginary or metaphorical United Nations, we would have to be like a super PAC, and we'd have to have a representative from the Hebrew group and say, listen, we want a part of, you know, the pie. What are you going to do for us? We'll give you 200K. We'll back
Right.
your party. What can we get out of it as Israelites? Then
Mm.
suddenly black Israelites will be in the push. Like all these gay groups and Hispanic groups, they all have organizations that they give money to the president or to his foundations and things of that nature. And that's how politics work. It's not just, oh, I'm
Okay.
gonna help these people out. You know, it's money involved. So
I got a question since you said that.
yes,
Let's go with say that the LGBT community.
right.
When did that actually came into perspective? What election was that when that thing came about? When it
Well,
became
Man,
important to get that
Trump
vote?
started that mess.
no,
Trump
no,
started
no,
that mess,
no.
No,
man.
no, before him.
Gay rights have been here since the early '70s with Harvey
Me
Milk.
and Obama, ain't it?
Yeah, I think it was the opposite.
We
It was the
had
Man,
opposite of.
when Obama
no like
did that, when Obama did the White House rainbow, man, that thing got out of control, man.
no. You talking about when has gay politics been? It's been here since the
Now, I
'70s.
already,
You ever
Right,
look up Harvey Milk?
right.
He was a politician. He was a openly gay politician. But what happened is at one point, Clinton endorsed homosexuality because
Hmm.
they endorsed his party.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Once you endorse their party with money, then what they do is they endorse you. Oh, it's
Hmm.
not. Well, I have no problems with the gay community. Like in the military, they said, "Don't ask, don't tell." Clinton
Hmm.
started that bull crap.
He started it, but who groomed it? Groomed it more personally, wasn't it Obama?
Well, of course, Obama, but I'm just saying Clinton started don't ask, don't tell law. But
So
my
no,
whole, my whole,
you got to be in truth. Who put the picture, on the mural?
Yeah, more
Obama
like
did that.
and
more
then
like
right,
for a social scale, on a social scale, bro, I think the person financial, politic, your color, how much money you got or whatever, then your sexuality, they ain't nobody business, man. So they just made it like it's okay for two grown ass people to sit there and kiss in the street in the Jeep. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Hmm.
exactly.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's like it wasn't nobody business, y'all. I ain't gonna be sitting there kissing up on my wife and all that in front of kids and everything. So what should give them the right to do it? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's all I'm getting.
because let me tell
Facts
you
though.
something.
Big
They're
facts.
they're they're pushing this gay agenda, but the crazy thing about it is the gay agenda has been here for years, but it's been in the closet. If you
Yeah,
notice
but
the
no,
commercials
no,
now,
right.
But
The
bro, if
key,
you look at it, nobody don't care if a person, nobody don't care if a person gay. That's your business.
right.
well,
So
well, I'm
made
gonna
it the issue. They made it the issue. I wouldn't care about neighbors with gay man. That's his business.
right. I
I ain't gonna
mean,
be in the room with.
my thing is this: I don't, I don't care about the gay lifestyle, but I'm gonna be honest. If I still had small children in the school, I would care. You know why? Because I would want my children exposed to it. Because I work in a
Well,
school now, and
that's something different. That's something different for it being in school and everything. I totally agree with that
right.
right there. But like I said,
So,
if my neighbor was on that right there, I'd still be like, man, what's up? Whatever, I won't be like going hanging out with them or nothing. But it's
oh
like
no, no, definitely
I wouldn't
not.
be like, oh, you motherfuckers is fair in you. You got that demon spirit in you and all that. No, I
No,
won't be. I
no,
won't
I
be
don't deal with that. No, I don't. You know what?
Some of them
And
trying to
do.
here's
lord
the
me.
here's the funny thing about that: the people that worry about that are the ones that be secretly gay themselves.
Right. I was about to say that. They
Yeah,
sure do.
Yeah,
yeah.
those are the ones that are secretly gay because a person is
Yeah,
gonna
they do.
be what they're gonna be, and as long as it does not affect me personally,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna deal with it. But like I said, if my see all my children are in their 30s, their 20s, and their 40s, so for me, it's not for
God
me
damn,
to
you might,
worry
you might
about.
be my daddy.
Right. So the thing is, if my children were still small, I would have a big
I've
concern
got a
because, like I
question.
said,
No, I've got a question. Sorry.
yes, yes. Okay, sir. Your question?
No, no, no. So finish what you're
No,
saying, Dev.
I was saying,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
being
Because
that I being
look, the thing is that
hello.
yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, let me
Listening.
finish my statement. Then I'm gonna let you continue.
Yeah,
What I
yeah,
was
no, I can.
saying,
Yeah, yeah.
what I was saying is that it's not really my concern, like the brother said. But like I said, the only reason I mentioned the school because I work in the school, and I'm looking at fourth and fifth graders, and we have a lot of young men that are confused now, and they're walking around and they're twisting and they're acting very effeminate, and it's not my place to call it. But like I said, if I were a father of younger children, I would be concerned, but I'm not.
Right.
So go ahead. Go ahead. You're gonna make your statement, Eli.
Yeah, we done took the we
Our
done took
place
the
to, I
whole
believe,
conversation back
to
to
call it out when you say it, right?
Hmm?
Now the thing is that they're destroying our children. That like I got two boys, right? They destroyed my boy, one of my sons, with this kind of
Mm-hmm.
like LGBTQ thing. This right. So basically,
Right.
now I've got an effeminate gay son. All right, and it's the system, the public school system, which, like you were saying, you work in, right? That
Right.
encouraged that. And the question is, why? Why now of all times? In like when we grew up in our time, like 30, 40, 50 years ago,
Right.
right? We never had that problem. We were encouraged to be good citizens. It's like, for instance, look at the dress sense of the kids nowadays compared to what it was, say, in our parents' time.
Right.
All right,
Hey,
upstanding citizens, right?
I got a
Why is
comment
it
too.
being
What you
pushed
say?
now?
I feel
Why is
you.
this gay thing being pushed now
I
and
think
encouraged?
I think the reason why it wasn't that it was not um pushed, but it was more in the closet. Because back then,
That's right.
the political
In other words,
lifestyle,
why did it come out of the closet so quickly?
be, be, because
That
the
was that
simple
was
fact the gay movement got in place when they had
that
the
was
women's
Because
movement,
because
when
our
they pushed.
well-known president pushed it.
Well,
yep,
Exactly. Exactly.
that too,
yep.
but
A man
it's
of
all
color.
If he would
it.
never did that, bro, trust me, bro, it would never been so open like that right there, bro. It would
No,
have been straight because
mm,
I don't know, man. I just feel like Obama did that right there. Everything
I,
just like
I, I,
wide
I
open.
mean, I disagree, and the reason why I disagree is because what happened is the gay movement actually started when a lot of women started, the feminist movement started, and then they put women that were gay in that movement, and then that's when it was exposed further. But what Obama did, he basically enhanced it. But
Made it
In other
to a hate
words,
crime.
in
Made it to a hate crime.
other words, he made laws against it. In other words, he said, "Hell with the word of the Most High is talking about. I'm override that."
right, well,
Now what
see,
happened? What happened to freedom? What happened to freedom of speech, dog?
well,
Why I
freedom of
can't call
speech
no
is
gay?
here.
Yo,
Freedom of
why I
speech is
can't call no
here.
great gay nigga a punk? Why I can't call no faggot
No,
no
it's
punk?
it's it's ma'am, sir,
Well,
ma'am.
You
here's
feel
the
me?
thing: freedom of speech is here because the thing is this: we're
Yeah.
allowed to practice. Well, I'm gonna give you an example. Back in the days, back in the day, back in the days, you were not allowed to practice your religion the way we practice it now or talk about it. You were either a Christian and that was it. And if you were a Muslim, you was considered an outlaw because they used to call them outlaws. You didn't hear nothing about the Israelite movement, even though it was around back in the '60s and the '70s. It was around, but you didn't hear them talk about it. So it's more acceptable now because we do have freedom of
Keyword,
speech.
keyword, because some man of color,
What? Oh,
signed it with a pen.
Oh yeah, listen. I'm not agreeing with you, but see, like I'm saying, when I was younger, I was out there and I seen things, so it's always been here. The gay movement, it's never been a secret.
Oh
they
yeah, no,
had
no, no,
gay
nobody,
folks.
no, nobody's denying that.
Right.
It's been around probably before our time. But I'm saying, who officiated it? It's some type of crime things behind it.
Well,
The
I'll
man
say
of
not
color.
just him, Clinton too.
I have to say just him because when it was put into law, it was by one man.
Nah, Clinton had something to do with it also.
He might have had something to
Yeah,
do with it, but
he probably did, but
that ink pen was in the hands of the black man.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna disagree. I'm definitely not gonna disagree because I mean the law. Okay, let's be honest. A lot of the laws itself, the system is corrupt. When the founding fathers started the Constitution, uh, didn't the founding fathers have slaves? They said
No
every
doubt.
man is equal. But how are we equal if you're writing the proclamation, emancipation, and y'all have slaves?
You
Abraham
gotta,
Lincoln had slaves.
you gotta,
George
you got,
Washington had
you got,
slaves.
you got to consider even Israel had slaves, so that it has a lot of bearing to it. But what I'm saying and what I was really referring to when I keep pushing the issue against that man is
Right,
the fact that that guy, would he come down to it, and you say, what did he do as a president and
right,
accomplishments and et cetera, and you start laying out the accomplishments and the things that he's done, and you will come to
right,
see that that's it.
right. I mean, and I'll say it again: politics is a dirty business. You cannot keep your belief system intact if you're a politician because everybody knew, but they couldn't prove it. But we knew, those of us who read, Obama was a Muslim. When he was in Chicago, he was a Muslim. And there are speeches where he talks about the Quran. He only became a mysterious Christian when he became a president. And he wasn't elected, he was selected because his father
Right.
was a big wig in Kenya. And we need
Hmm.
those resources from Kenya, from Africa, Akambulan, whatever you want to call it. So he was selected for the time he was in there.
I
You
got a
know what I'm
question,
saying?
brother Eli.
And it also
Yeah.
was it was also selected because of the color of his skin matched ours.
Right. Even though he's hey,
Not
even
us,
though he's half a
not
white
us,
man.
right? Not us, but
Right.
it looked like us.
Right. But
They
he
always do that. That's how they
right.
do. Think about it. You got that
Right.
other person, the other person is coming in doing the same similarities, and you know to deal with that.
Right. And I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but you know, when people's like, yo, he's a brother, yeah, he's a biracial brother. He's a brother, but he's biracial. I don't have a
Only,
problem with color,
only,
but
only problem I had with the whole thing about the gayness and all that, and this also is directed to our brother Eli. Have your son had a son yet? I don't know if he's still on a
he may not
panel
be
with us.
on. He's gonna
Yeah,
see that it's been we've been going in and out because of the you know,
the signal.
the
Yeah.
signal.
Well, I just say this then. As far as what brother Eli was saying, I understand what he's saying because my first son, he been through a lot. Like on their mother took them through a whole lot. A lot of people don't know my background or whatever, but I do have
Mm-hmm.
I do have kids, and
Mm-hmm.
and when I first got with her, she was so bound for the world. She wanted to do everything in the world, do and at that time was when I was coming into my spiritual walk or whatever, whatnot, and a lot
Right.
of things happened where, for as my first set of kids were with her, and they ended up getting abused and stuff, certain situations like that. Because I had end up leaving it, but I said that to say this. I told him, every man has, every young man has a decision to make when they, coming up of age. Either you're gonna do the wrong thing or you're gonna do the right thing. And I said that's gonna be your choice. But like I told him, I said I'm bounding you. If you decide that you want to be gay, you still owe me a son.
Right. Because
You
this
still owe
is
me
how
a
I
son, a grandson.
right. This is how I look at it.
And people always want to debate me, but I bring up the scientific part of the debate. Being gay is a choice other than if you are molested or taken
Right.
advantage of. Because what happens is this: when we are born, we have certain chemicals in our body. As a male and a female, we have estrogen and we have testosterone. The testosterone gives us our erection, our facial hair, our dark voice, our strength, etc. The estrogen is your feminine side, your effeminate behavior, your persona. What happens, and this is a fact based on science, some people are born with higher levels of estrogen. So, if a male is born with higher levels of estrogen, what's going to happen? He's going to be more feminine. He's going to be
Right.
infeminine. That doesn't mean that he's gay.
Right. I understand that because I
So
I
what
studied that too
happens
myself.
is if he leans more towards his feminine side
Made the wrong
and,
decision.
and
Could
make the
that
wrong decision,
could
he
that could
will
that be
be gay. But
could that be controlled chemically, like being out of balance too? Like,
um
like
I'm not sure about that because
well,
this is just
I'm saying like because you mentioned science, this in
right.
science,
I
you
I
got to.
would I
The reason why I'm saying that because
right.
there was an era that we had in the '70s that they were strongly pushing high fructose, stuff like that, and
Right.
Soy.
tapping into soy and
Yeah,
tapping
I stay away
into
from
a
soy.
lot of those natural foods being processed,
Altered.
altered, you know that
I,
we're seeing more of the results in
right.
2024.
I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example, right?
Dirty.
My ex, who has a son by another gentleman many years ago, I used to watch her son because I was part of a child care facility that my aunt had built because she was a former principal and I worked with her. What happened is my ex's son, being that she had my daughter and two other children that were women, he was around them constantly. And I said to her, listen, is his father around? I said, he's very effeminate. I said, you need to kind of rough him up a little. Let him hang with his uncles, get him into sports and, just watch him. Because I said, I watch him, how he carries himself. He walks kind of feminine. He does things because he was around her and the rest of his sisters. Now
Right.
that's not always the case for some. There's some males that have only sisters and they come out as rough as tough as they can be. But that's not for everybody. I'm guessing, he was going more toward his feminine side. So anyway, she tells me that's none of your business. You just you just pay your child support on time that was ordered by the court.
Right. So that's
I said
wild.
I said, okay, so guess what he is today?
Oh.
He's a full-blown transgender woman who
Mm,
had the surgery.
mm.
So, he didn't have to be that way. That was a choice. When you hear them say, "Oh, well, I think I'm a woman and
Erica!
this is trapped inside of me." No, it's not, because the creator doesn't make no mistakes.
Like I
That's
told
a
my son,
choice.
Are you
my
sure
son, he
about?
owed
Are
me
you
a
sure
son.
about that? Are you sure
Yeah.
about that?
What?
Creator don't make no mistakes. Are you
Nah,
sure?
he don't make no mistakes. Man
No
makes
mistakes.
mistakes.
Right.
Man makes mistakes.
All right,
You know.
let's take another little real twist, go around in this different path. Let's get
Okay.
off of that. Let's get off of that for just a second. But
Okay.
home in on that what you just said. He doesn't make those type of errors and stuff like that. All right,
Okay.
this man type of stuff. So if we look at it from that perspective, right?
Right.
Man's world now, literally. When I say man's world, I'm not talking about it as on the male side, but just like man, like human controlled environment, human controlled system.
Okay.
The focus is gone. Little by
Okay.
little, the focus on, you know, the main thing is dwindled down to pretty much nothing. You know,
Right.
just a few left that
Right.
even push the issue of things the way it needs to be. And now it's a world where anything can be. It's about money. It's about what you can get over your next brother or sister, etc., etc. And you could care less of the results of what happens to them. The morals and all that stuff, that's gone out the window. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like pretty much, you know, the end of the world
Well,
Right.
it's
as
getting to
far
that
as
point.
it goes. To anything that's to be, for the best interest of the people. Wouldn't you say?
Right.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, are you talking about the end of man's reign as far as what?
No, I'm saying the end of. I'm end of anything to do with
Yeah, the coaches.
normality. Normality.
Well, I mean, we live in a world now
Hmm.
where
I love this. Keep going.
anything goes, and this is when you know that this world or mankind is coming to basically almost an end. I mean,
We hope.
you. Well, I mean, I want to live to at least to 100, and I want to see my grandchildren and my great grandchildren. But I mean, to me, based on what I see, my observation, and my assessment of how we're going now, anything goes. When you have men having surgery to be women and women having surgery to be men, and these commercials where they're showing two men that are gay in a relationship in commercials, they didn't show that 40 or 50 years ago. It's just the times are changing, and it's not changing for the best, because the reason why, because the Most High is not in it. You know what I'm saying? The Most
Say,
High is
say,
not in
say
a
that.
lot of things
Say
anymore.
that again. Say that again.
I
Say that
said the
again.
Most High is not in a lot of things anymore. I remember growing up in the 70s, there were prayer in the school, regardless if it was Christian prayer or not, it was a prayer. And, it was more morals as far as how, there were standards that had to be set, and morals that were displayed in the system of school and just the world in general. As far as people being gay, if they were gay, no one talked about it. So that's why I'm saying the world is changing, and it's really in a topsy turvy, upside down type of way. It's not the same, and I'm glad I'm able to witness, the world change, but it's not changing for the best. I wish, it wasn't the way it is, but this is how it is. You got gay men on TV hosting shows like, what's this, RuPaul's Drag Race, stuff like that. You wouldn't see stuff like that 40 or 50 years ago,
What's that
and
new
that's
show that everybody love now on BET with that gay stripper? That's
gay.
real popular. It's real popular now.
I, I don't know. I mean, I've heard of RuPaul and the drag queens and all that, but that's a new one for me. The gay stripper. I mean, but you see what we're going through. That you see the era that we're in. Anything goes. Anything goes. And here's the thing. This is why I know anything goes, because these type of situations that go on, like, okay, if a person is in school, and I keep bringing up school because that's where I work at. If a
P
person is in
Valley.
school and they decide that they want to be a woman, even if they have not had the surgery, if they say call me Sue, and you call them by their name, you can get in trouble for that.
I call last names.
Right.
Right.
You
You know what
notice
I'm
that
saying?
you notice that when they allow these certain tasks to go on and they put things in effect, laws had to be created behind it that weren't there. There weren't those laws that weren't in existence now exist, and
Right.
are they considered moral, or is just more or less protection laws?
Um, when you talk about when you talk about morals, I don't look at that,
as a moral, what, a moral law, or what do you mean? As far as
In other words, as we'll say it again to give you clarity, it's either one or the other. It's either a moral law that they're creating behind it, or it's a protection law. And which one
I
would you
would
say it is?
say it's a law to
Protection.
protect them monetarily, because morals deals with principles of right and wrong behavior, and that's definitely wrong behavior, because if somebody is gay or pansexual or whatever, or omnisexual, whatever you want to call it, you changing your name doesn't change the fact. Even if you have the physical surgery, if you were to die and you were burnt up, when they do an autopsy, they look at your bones. You're still a
Say it was a
male.
man.
You're still a
Right,
man.
right.
So
But
you having the same.
let's take the focus off of that part, because somebody would turn around and say, "Well, you think that's the only bad thing, I would just say non-moral thing to think about." You got to think about it. Let's go into a different note. Let's say those that like to have sex with their cats and dogs and horses and
Well, now
chickens.
you're talking about bestiality, and there's
Hmm.
a law against that. The Most High has a law against that. Why would you have intimacy with an animal when you can have intimacy with a woman? The
Well, wait,
Creator
wait a minute.
says,
Wait a minute. Wait,
yes,
wait. You said
okay,
there's a law against that, and there is, right? You're
yeah.
absolutely correct. But the thing is, do these people really care about those laws, or they want to
Well,
create their own?
okay, for me personally, if it does not affect me physically, no, it does. That does not affect me physically. I don't know of anybody personally that engages in bestiality. So that does not. But I'm bringing it up in conversation to give an example of what laws that are out there to protect the animals. Actually, you got some guy that's a weirdo that wants to sleep with an animal. You're abusing the animal. You know what I'm saying? So God protects not only his human specimens, he protects his animals as well.
Right, right.
You
But
know?
that's like I said, that's laws that we have written in the scriptures for all of this stuff. But
Right.
like I just said, when it comes down to this type of situation, these people care less about those laws that's
Right.
written
Well, but you have
scripturally.
to understand that the people we're talking about are heathens.
Huh?
See,
Say that again. Say
they're
that again.
they're
And
heathens.
keep saying it. Say it again. Now I want you to say it. I want you to say it and over say it and say it and say it, say it.
The people that we are discussing on our podcast are heathens.
They not
Mm-hmm.
like the heathens.
You know, and
Mm-hmm.
there's different definitions. But heathen could
No,
be
no, we
somebody.
don't, no, we don't got to go through that. I'm just
Right.
saying
Okay.
you made the point, the main
Right.
point. They care less about that focus of laws or
Right.
morality. They
Right.
don't care. That's why I said majority of these laws that you're seeing now being created are protective laws or laws of for the best interest of someone's pockets. Majority of
Right.
the times.
So they can't get sued.
Hmm.
You know, like I said, and I only know about the name change thing because, like I said, my ex son had his name before he had his name changed. He used a different name. He used a female name, and someone called him by the former name as a male, and they got in trouble for it.
Take a pause for a second. Smashing idol. I want you to read that. You highlighted it. Leviticus 18:23. Let us make a stance.
Leviticus 18:23. Neither shall you lie with any beast to defile yourself therewith, neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down there too. It is confusion. Defile not yourself of any of these things, for in all these the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you.
And say it again, that last part. Those nations are defiled when I cast out before you. So other nations put over you their laws, their restrictions, copycat city. It's not good. Not good. Not good. But you
So,
see, there's a law.
right.
written.
Of course, bestiality
Hmm.
law. That's what it's
Hmm.
called. It's a
Now,
bestiality law.
I want him to see if he can find, and I know there is, I'm just saying this as a tease, to find a law against the community.
What do you mean? As far as what? Against the gay community?
Correct. You know that. You know where I'm going. You know where I'm going. You know where I'm going. Okay? Say it. Read it out loud.
Leviticus 18:22. You shall not lie down with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination.
It is a what? An abomination.
Abomination.
And when something is an abomination and it's expressed as that, it's expressed like that because it's that much of how much he dislikes it.
Yeah.
To a point where he destroyed. What did he destroy? Sodom and
And
Gomorrah.
Gomorrah. Yeah.
So
The town.
can you explain to me that, and I know you're gonna defend, but I want you to say this. When they could come up with an idea to make a protection law against something that's morally wrong, written way before they were even heard of, the person that endorses this, right? Why do you think that when I say caring about who the hell gonna sit in there, if they're not in the righteous ways of this, what's the point of putting them there?
Right. Well, once again, politics is a dirty business, and it's not for us. This is not. This is old school, but I'm going to say it. This is not our land. We happen to reside here. So while we're
Okay,
here, this
okay,
is
okay. I like
this
that.
is
I like
this
that. I like that.
these
It is.
these are the
It's
things.
not where you're at, not where you're from, and none of that. This the situation. Put it on the land. You know that it's messed up, even in the land too.
That's because the people that are in there are
Ah,
the ones
ah,
that mess
ah,
it up.
The point of it is,
Right.
think about it. The reason why they're there and we're not, because of what?
Oh, because of our ancestors' betrayal of the Most High God.
Bad habit, right?
Right.
Bad habit.
Right, definitely. Because I've spoken to actual Jews, and some of them are born into the Jewish religion, and guess what? They're atheists.
Okay.
They're born Jew, but they don't even believe. Oh, I'm sorry, they don't even call him Yohe Wahe or Yahweh. They call him Hashem, but they don't believe. They're atheists. They have gay parades over there.
So you
They
mean to tell me they're not really born Jews then? They're just you
Well,
wishes?
for us,
They call them
for
Jew you
us,
wishes?
right?
Right.
For us, there's no such thing as your mother has to be a Jew. That's not even in the Torah. But for them,
Exactly.
hmm,
No, no,
what happens?
agree. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
There is. I have challenged. I have challenged many Jewish I won't say scholar intermediates who was very good with the Torah. And I said, where does it say in any Torah scripture that your mother has to be Jewish in order to be I say a Hebrew, because the word Jewish was implanted in our writings many years later. And I said, what you are following is rabbinic Judaism, which is based on Talmudic instructions. There's
So
nothing that has to.
it's a big business in you wish community.
Right. It's a big business. It's a
You
big
wish,
business.
you wish, you
You
wish, you wish,
wish,
you
No,
but
wish.
there's no such
Say it
thing.
again. Say it again. You wish.
Jew who wish. Jew
So
who wish. So,
so as you said, you were saying you seen some of those that were born you wish. That makes more
Right.
sense. I like that. Born you wish. That
Yeah. You can't be. I mean, it's a religion. But Abraham was not part of a religion. He was more part of spirituality because he believed in the Most High El. He didn't convert to Judaism. Um, He didn't wear no Jewish star or wear the big long hats like a magician. And you
Excuse
know,
me, brother.
yes, sir.
Excuse me, yes, sir. Who was Abraham's dad?
Hmm.
Abraham's dad.
Tarek.
Okay.
Why?
All right. Cause was something was said like a czar.
Yeah, I think I
Czar.
know what he's talking about. They're the Khazars. The Khazars.
What's the question?
No, that was it. Who was his dad?
Oh, Tarek was his dad who lived in Ur or Chaldees. His father was a pagan. He believed in idols also. That's spoke about in the book of Joshua. All of them served
Oh, okay,
different
yeah.
gods.
Okay, yeah, that's right. That's what I had wanted to say too.
Right.
So he was a Chaldean.
Yeah. He was Chaldean.
Yes, it was a
But what
child then. It's Aram kindred, literally, basically.
right. So what happened, that's mentioned that his father and his brother served other gods in the book of Joshua. So it's not a secret. A lot of people think that's some big secret. No, his family were idol worshippers. And I believe Abraham was one himself until the Creator called him out. That's in the book of Genesis, I think chapter 12, where he calls them to come to Canaan. I think Better Sheet, chapter 12, 1 through 3, told him he'll be a father of many nations. And him and Lot, his family member, pilgrimage to Canaan. So that was it.
So that was after. So that was after he was. I guess the Most High was testing him when he told him to go sacrifice his son.
Well, everything is a test. Everything was test. He wanted to see how loyal he was to him. So the
Okay.
Creator knew that he was not going to let him kill his only son. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't going to do that. He wasn't going to let him do that.
All
So
right,
he,
all right. I got a good thing on that. I got a good thing on that.
Me
yes,
too. Me too.
We're gonna
Me
go.
too.
We're gonna reconvene.
My fault.
We're gonna reconvene back on this and get good into the Saul part next
okay,
week. So
okay,
I want Smashing Idols to pull up. We'll go back to chapter 8, basically from verse 10. If you can highlight verse 10 and on,
okay,
and let's take a little. Before we close, let's focus out on these things and foretelling of what would happen for having such and such over such and such. All right.
okay.
So we got about 20 minutes. So let's go with that. All right.
Okay.
It said, and Samuel told all the words of the Lord unto the people that asked of him a king. And he said, this will be the manner of the king that shall reign over you. He will take your sons and appoint them from himself. All right. In other words, you vote for him, he was going to take basically, like, say how we modernize that, the draft and all that stuff like that. It's similar, right? You know, protect his, seat, etc., and appoint them for himself for his chariots and to be his horsemen, and some shall run before his chariots. Now that's crazy, you know. And he will appoint him captains over thousands and captains over fifties, and will set them to ear his ground, to reap his harvest, and to make his instruments of war and instruments of his chariots. Like how a lot of us, learn how to control what you call those things that they have that fly around remote control, the
What?
droids or whatever you want to call
The
that.
drones?
Yeah,
Yeah.
drones and stuff like that.
That fly over the
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and watch everything. Right.
Learn a lot of technical, logical features for working for the man, basically working for the
Right.
man. You get a skill. I guess when you're done, you could pretty much when you go back to civilian life, real world, it doesn't have any bearing. But most majority of the time, they fool you into thinking that you're going to have some bearing on it, and you end up having to really go to school afterwards to actually get a good focus on it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
unless you are a pilot or something like that, where
Mm-hmm.
you know it makes pretty much of a difference. All right, so think about that. And it would take your daughters to be confectionaries and to be cooks and to be bakers. In other words, put them in a position to do, what they call the roles of what they thought of them as anyway. Even though in certain features it says a different wording, but that's literally that. And he will take your fields and your vineyards and your olive yards, even the best of them, and give them to his service. In other words, he's gonna take your shit, you know, give give the best of what you have to his service. You know what I mean? You know,
Mm-hmm.
the government usually has high paying positions. You know what I mean? Even
Mm-hmm.
though probably he's doing the same thing the regular man is doing. But you notice the toilet is more expensive out there. Government toilet, government luncheon, et cetera. So they,
Mm-hmm.
cost a little more. Keep going. 50. It says, and it will take the tenth of your seed taxes and of your vineyards and give to the officers. Man, isn't this something that even though this was foretold about the king situation and this has a lot of validity to today,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah,
know,
it does.
Right.
it fits right in, right?
Yes,
Perfectly,
it
right?
does.
Yeah, right.
I
Perfect.
mean, our information is used in a court of law. When you are being sworn in, what do they swear you in on?
The Bible.
The Bible, the Old Testament. That's what they're swearing you, or the Torah. They're swearing you in the book Hebrew Bible. So they use our laws, but they use them like crookedly.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
So
Right.
you
They
use
Right.
it.
say judicial system.
Hmm.
Right. It's crooked. But see, there's a loophole in all. I've learned that in all things as far as when it comes to law, there's loopholes. You know what I'm saying? There's loopholes. They are. I
Yes,
know
they are.
attorneys
No,
too.
no,
They're
no, 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 no,
loopholes.
no, no. I'm laughing at you because a loophole is a very important feature that we should all learn. You know, the
Yep.
best of the
Right.
best, because loopholes save you.
Do you know? Because I've gotten in trouble for nothing serious. Anytime they try to arrest you, what do they tell you? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against you in a court of law. So if you're running your mouth about what you did, and I'm sorry, let me go, and then you turn around and get a lawyer and say, did you say anything? No. They take that same statement and use it against you. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's important. If you get in trouble, don't say nothing.
So you're trying to say that if there was a situation that they asked you for an alibi, you told them that I can't, tell you where I was last night, but I know one thing for sure. At that time frame at 9, p.m., I was thinking of shit. It'd be better off you
And
don't
you,
say nothing, keep quiet.
so
That's
first of
your
all,
alibi.
first of all, you gotta tell me where am I being questioned at? Where am I being questioned at when they're asking me these questions? Am I in a squad car or am I in I'm in the headquarters of being detained? Where am I at when they ask these questions?
Shit, you a black man. You might be already in the cell when they ask you this shit.
Well, I'm not going to tell you nothing. I have nothing to say until I
Well,
have my attorney.
well walking, yeah, while walking by, but like you walking down the street, they just say, hey, this and that, they come grab you. They said they want you to do a lineup. They just want to put you in the car and drive you up the street. That's you to stand in front of the car and so they can line. That somebody look at their window and say, yeah, that's him. That's it. And you don't want to comply with that right there. You can be like, hey, you gonna get resisting arrest and all that. Just for walking while
You're
black.
only resisting arrest if you refuse to go with them, but they have to have a probable cause. If there's no probable cause, then they can't arrest you.
Say that
They,
again.
I
Probable
said,
cause.
probable
Probable cause.
cause.
Loophole.
Yes,
Okay,
it
so
can
now
be.
check this out. All right, you walking down the street, something done
Okay,
happen. You don't got nothing to do with it. You don't got nothing to
right.
do with it. Now you like, they're like, oh, we need you to come with us, come down the street, this and that. And you like, oh hell no, no, y'all y'all done tricked us already by getting on the boat. That's why we ain't getting on cruises and shit, you know?
Right.
So, so he like, you don't want to go down the street with him, so what, he gonna try to, you know, what's that, detain you, you know?
Well, the first
Maybe,
thing I'm gonna
maybe
ask, what
even
am I?
make you.
Well, for me, like I said, I can't speak for everybody else because I've been in situations and I've gotten out of them. First, I'm gonna ask you, what am I being detained for? Well, you look like this person. What person? Why am I being detained? You know what I'm saying? More likely, I'm gonna go because then he can say I'm resisting. I'm gonna voluntarily go. You know what I'm saying? Because what happens when you start cursing them out and all that, you're agitating them, and you basically got your hand in their mouth anyway. But I would voluntarily go, but I'm going to ask questions. But as far as where were you at, I'm not answering no questions until I get a lawyer. You're entitled to a phone call. You know what I'm
I
saying?
feel you. I ain't even
So,
getting in that car, man. I feel you though, but I ain't even, man. I'm gonna show
well,
my ass. I'm gonna
see,
make a
here's the
mason.
problem.
Going
Here's the
out.
problem. When you do all that, you're going to catch maybe 3 or 4 charges. What's going to happen to me, I'm going to get out probably within the next hour because I'm not the person they're looking for because it's called mistaken identity. See, that's the problem. You have to be smart. You showing your ass, excuse my expression, you showing your
Man,
tail is not going to help your situation. People have to
I did that
understand when
before,
you're
man. They gave
dealing.
me 18 months.
Right, but that's one situation. That's not all situations. You have to be smart about it. You showing your
I know
tail
that.
is not going to help you, sir. I'm telling you. I'm
Yeah,
58 years
I
old.
feel you.
It's not going to help you
I understand you.
because what
I
happened?
understand you.
This is what happens. You resisting arrest. They can make that to you assaulting an officer. Because what happens when you get arrested, they automatically bring the charges up high. Do you know why? Because if they give you your original charge, it can be knocked down to rioting or disorderly conduct, which is not even a charge. So what happens, they have to bring it up high so they can bring it down to the
Yeah.
resisting arrest or assault an officer. So it can still be a felony because they want the highest conviction rate because that's how they get their money. That's how they hold our black boys in jail. They want to get the highest charge. And by you going against them, you're feeding their cause. Like I used to talk to brothers and I talked to this dude, this when I was young. He said, if you ever get in trouble, never take probation. I said, why not? He
Mm-hmm.
said, because that's a trap. They know the
Yep.
average brother can't stay out without drinking or fighting or whatever. You just take the whole charge. He said, I would never take probation. And I never thought about it. I said, wow. You know what I'm saying? There's just a lot of tricks, but there's also loopholes to the law. Like search
Right.
and seizure. I don't even know if does that still exist in New York? The search and seizure?
It's actually worse now.
Okay,
It's
so
it's
they
actually
still
worse now. It's actually just they do whatever they want to do. You can be the good guy or you can be the bad guy. You lose. So the best
right.
the best
Well,
way the best
well,
way
the
you look
thing
at it as
is,
you make your wise decision.
you're
Sometimes
right. You
running is
have to be
better.
smart. You have to
I'm
be
getting.
smart.
I'm gonna sit there and talk my little trash and let them make spin handcuff me. If I get my little lawsuit, fuck that.
There
I'm
you
going out
go.
with
There
a
you
bang.
go. There you
He
go.
I'm
wild,
going out with a
man. He
There
bang.
you
wild.
go. Hey,
He
don't
wild.
forget. Hey,
I ain't
listen.
finna, bro. I ain't
Don't
finna
for,
just get in the car with him and all that. I know I ain't do
don't
nothing.
don't
Bro, I done did
forget.
that before, bro.
Don't forget to get Al Sharpton
Yeah,
because
sure, man.
because Al
Man,
Sharpton's
look,
gonna make some. He gonna make some noise for
man,
you. He see this is
man.
this is
I
what
don't think I want
happens.
to mess with him more. I don't think I want to mess with him more. Crump, whatever the name is,
No, 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 no.
Crump, whatever the name is.
Listen, this once again. What happens is this. You want somebody, and Al Sharpton is going to get your case out there. Like this boy who got killed in Florida. That wasn't a nationwide case until somebody brought it out. I forgot his
Who
name.
you
What's the
talking
young man who was
about?
walking down the street?
Like Martin,
Yes,
Trayvon
Trayvon
Martin.
Martin. Right. They tried to keep that only, I think it was in Florida. They tried to keep it
Yeah,
only there.
I'm in Florida. That was right here in Florida.
and it became a nationwide case because somebody brought it out. And that's what, see, they don't want it brought out because they know a lot of these cops are dirty and they're not trained well.
Question:
And
not
yes,
only just that they're dirty, they shouldn't be what they are in the first place.
no,
That
they
shit,
shouldn't.
that position of that so-called uh title or feature shouldn't even exist. You know why
Right.
it exists? You know why it really exists? To protect the rich. Fuck the
Oh
poor.
yeah. Right. It is.
Dirty.
It is. I mean, a lot of these officers that are out today, and I'm gonna say
Protection,
it,
protective law,
they
not
they
moral.
they
Nothing
are
moral
not
about none of it. It's all protective laws.
they're not
They got
trained.
they got it's a game within the police affiliation thing. It's another kind of game they got going on if they want to make it to the next
Oh
level. Not to
yeah.
be no lieutenant, not to be no lieutenant or a sergeant, but to say per se to be Blackwater or something other, you know. So they go out and murder, murder us and all this right. That's the go to the
It's
next level or
Masonic.
whatever, the initiation or
It's
something. I don't know how to word it, but it's something like
yeah.
that.
It's
I can give
Masonic,
you a
man.
word for it. Genocide.
Yeah,
That too.
yeah.
Okay, that's the word. Genocide.
All right. 5 minutes to close.
But
Any last thoughts? And let's
oh,
close it
but
out.
it also, but it also sick of moments. You know what I'm saying? By like if your blood type be something else or whatever, and they know they want your organ and you healthy or whatever, and I guess that they target you like that too, man.
You're right about that, brother.
Mm,
You are
Oh yeah.
correct. You know why? Because we have the most expensive organs on the market.
yeah,
You are correct about that. You are so correct
yeah.
about that. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
It's a
But
dirty game.
yeah, now check this out.
Mm.
Genocide is the deliberate and organized destruction of a racial, ethnic, national, or religious group in whole or in large part by a government and its agents. Okay?
We need to sue. We need to sue. We need to
Got to
sue,
turn
bro.
back to the Most High. Drop the
Absolutely.
idols.
Say it again. Say it
Got
again. Say it
we
Hey,
gotta
again.
but
we gotta return back to the
hey,
Most High and drop the idols, man.
That's right.
oh, that's already done. I just already done. They got a couple
Mhm.
more. My demon is the trees,
Mhm.
smoking the trees. Everything else, I don't care about nothing else. I don't care about the pork. I don't care about partying and all that. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about studying. But there's some trees that are kind of hard for them. But I'm working on them. Discipline, you know.
Yep.
Oh
But
yeah.
hey,
All right. Like I said, final 3 minutes, 2 minutes, really. Just close it
well,
out.
coming from
Final
y'all
thought.
son, y'all blessed. Coming from y'all son, get mine out of the way, cause y'all son, y'all blessed. You know what I'm saying? True, smash, car, you know, bruh. I forgot to what his name, brother Allen, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. That's it
All
right
right.
there. You know, miss y'all boys too, man. True, need to come on at least once a week, bro. That's the kick it, Bobo, dog.
Oh
I've been
yeah.
missing you too,
Okay. So I'm gonna give my final shout outs as far as I wanna say um Toda Rabah to everyone that tunes into our program faithfully every week and to watch us talk about serious topics, not only politics, but dealing with religious situations, as far as worldly events, um, things of that nature. I also want to say total rabah to the questions that are given by the Israelites or non-Israelites in the gallery. I want to thank you for that. That keeps us on our toes. I want to say total rabah to all my brothers that are up here, Yasun, True, Smash and Idol, Ben, and Vakar. Without you brothers, there would not be a show. Uh, being that said, my last words is take care and Yah bless.
Yeah, I go
Yeah,
and get mine also. Blessings, family. Everybody, on the panel. The fam that's tuned in, watching the show. Only thing I can say for my last word, just train ourselves up in our children in the ways of the Most High God, and don't depart from that. Yeah. Shalom.
yeah. Smashing idol. All praises to Yah and him alone. Shout out to the hit squad. Shout out to True DOA. Um, in these times, y'all stay safe. Keep your family, especially your children, you know what I'm saying, under watch. Remember, just because they're just honing in on one certain group of so-called immigrants, there are all types of all nations coming out. So keep your family safe. You know what I'm saying? Stay on your 10 toes. Make sure that you keep the Most High Yah as your God, and He gonna keep you in perfect peace. Pray y'all bless y'all and keep y'all in perfect peace. Yes, sir. Shalom.
Yes, sir. Other one. Australia.
Shalom.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. Shalom, everyone, and I wish you as well Torah Robah, and peace and blessings to all our family all around the world. It's another good show. Another classic to draw our knowledge from, and pretty much all I can say is that look, we need to get out of the system, and just like what we were talking about earlier on. And I love you all. Keep it true to the Most High. And until next time, shalom.
Shalom.
All right, I have to say, we'll resume next week, part 2, talking about Saul and go on.
Bit the
Other than
car,
that,
bit the car.
I'm just gonna say, shalom, shalom.
No.
What do you want? I'm gonna kill you, you bastard!
It's the Juk. All you see is crooks. Shout out to Havoc, good looking on the beat. Forever P. Street life was good. About to go in, son. Look, red bones and red bottoms. Like Red Bull, we gon' give them wings, we red dot 'em. Candy rappers, sentiment, we red hot 'em. Headshot 'em, go against my grain, get head problems. Big dummy, garbage rappers, we red fox 'em. Shoot an actor in high depth and red box 'em. Tip the scales in my favor, stay in your top 10. If life's like a triple beam, I'm weighing my options. Y'all like wide meth, you high meth. Keep a big popper, cause I ain't ready to die yet. I digress, or I'm just too intense to digest. Stretched in a Pyrex, compliments to my chef. Game ain't been the same since I left. Is they really crooks or just a pain in my neck? Wu-Tang, ain't no lanes in my set. Fresh pair of Nike Airs, I just do it for my check. I'll be the first to tell these rappers, get your bars up. Shout to P, you know it's havoc when we mob up. I tell that smut, date over, pull your drawers up. Cigar guts, all up in the club, putting squad up. Throw your squad up. Throw your squad up. Throw your squad up. Cigar guts, all up in the club, putting squad up.
I swoop in, shooting like I'm paratrooping. We all in, we riding, we carpooling. My whole crew, we diving, we platooning. Salute me or shoot me, Huey P. Newton. Your buffoonery is quite amusing. This is not monkey business, stop cooning. It's a method to my madness, I know what I'm doing. There's a